Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
Stay safe. Get your flu shot now from Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston. Yes, flu shots are now available at both locations. Plus, you'll find a large selection of masks and Lysol wipes. Stay clean, stay safe. Come inside or use their convenient drive-through window. And yes, the grill is open at Medical Center in Cherryville. That's Medical Center Pharmacy, East Academy Street, Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
It's time to order your office and party packs from Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks in Law. Party plates are just $7.99 per person with a 15-person minimum. The standard menu includes barbecue pork, sauce, and beans, plus coleslaw, potato salad, buns, sweet tea, ice, plates, cups, eating and serving utensils. Other items also available. Call for details at 704-824-8838 from the all-new Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks, now located at 305 South Main Street in Law. Online at hillbilliesbbqsteaks.com.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
The game plays right here.
Are you ready for some football? Yeah!
Your sports leader, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and WCSL Cherryville Gastonia.
Hello, this is Milton Baker inviting you to listen to NASCAR Racing right here on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
First Saturday morning sports talk of 2021. And in the studio, as always, we have the man with all the magic, Kevin Hastings. The man of the shock jocks, that'd be Hunter Yancey. The wolf man of the wolf pack, Terry Reinhardt. The Burns Bulldog himself, Tom Sinifani. And the man who's always sleeping on the job, JP.
Oh, no. Listen, I'm glad. Good morning, everybody. JP, let me tell you something. You beat Hunter here. You beat Tom here. This is a whole new beginning. I'm telling you. They were late. They couldn't get here.
Tom has a pass.
They're starting to be older men. They cannot get up to get here on time.
And let me tell you what you might want to get up and do one morning, Terry, is go on over to Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, who's a sponsor of this show. Get yourself another car, Terry, because I'm tired of looking at the same car you've driven for 36 years. you can get over to Friendship, Chrysler Jeep Dodge
21.
Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension, Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. They can put you in a new Jeep Cherokee, a new Gladiator, a new cool-looking Jeep product, or Friendship Nissan. Get yourself a Nissan Rogue Ultima at 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. You can call them at 828-245-1661. Thank you, Friendship, for sponsoring Saturday Sports Talk, and thank you for not pulling the sponsorship after Terry predicted Clemson would beat Ohio State by 30 points. So we really appreciate
when we do these
not
bad
pulling the
picks.
sponsor.
That's Thomas Forgello riding up the road, right? He usually rides
Yeah,
up and listens to us in the mornings on the way to work.
Don't pull the sponsorship, please. Or they might give us more money because it's so funny. People might wake up to listen to
one thing,
what he has to say.
Now, they could have plenty of money to spend if they would just bet on whatever we don't say on Saturday mornings. When I'm going to pull up the bad picks.
Bad picks. Yeah.
I got 11 from last week, and we didn't even get to. We're not even going to do yesterday's games.
God.
So,
they're going to quit letting y'all pick. Tom
or
and Hunter. They're
actually
let me pick
Thursday's games. So those will be on next week's bad picks. And we have a total of 11 this week. Usually we're averaging about 10, so we're good for 10 misses. So if you're listening on the radio, just mark off the first 10, say we're wrong, and then you got a 50-50 chance yourself.
I mean, there are more than 10 games NFL-wise, so if you go, we had 7, if you go 4 and 3 in college and NFL.
On your record last week.
I don't care.
Your record was awful.
I don't care.
Terry stepped up
the
to
hardest the hardest one to pick out of all of them is college football because we don't get to watch I don't just sit there and watch Georgia State every week.
But that's the problem. We only missed 4 of them. We missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Hunter had 7
of
misses.
the NFL.
Well, was
Seven.
That's
wait a
collective.
minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hunter and Tom missed all those. Not me. Y'all missed them.
Wait till next week. Terry's gonna be all over next week.
I'm already looking at one now. It's gonna be way wrong.
He's already missed Clemson's.
with this, the NFL's virus protocol, and you take a team like the Browns and basically say 8 or 9 guys can't go. I mean, how are you supposed to predict that game? How are you supposed to know the entire wide receiving core? And by the way, your flight's delayed. Oh, by the way, you get to do your warm ups in the parking lot. I mean, come on, NFL.
I agreed with you there, Tom. Me and you, they can send something back and forth because I did not understand that when you let Baltimore have weeks,
or days
to prepare,
and then
when it come to Cleveland, I hate it. You're gonna have to go play
one day. I'm not saying one day. Give it because they
Denver was in the same situation
with a quarterback, not even wide receivers. With their quarterback.
Give them a day if they have to travel. Like Cleveland had to travel, so now that your flight's delayed, you don't get in there. And literally, they did their walkthrough in a parking lot across the street. I mean, I'm not saying it would have changed the outcome because it's going to be hard to beat anybody without your wide receivers. But just give them a day to where they can at least make some coaching adjustments.
No, I agree with you there, 100%.
I mean, come on, but
not very seldom do I do that.
Yeah,
but I do.
Very seldom do you have any sympathy. But I'm not really sure what the rules are. And I think the NFL's making up the rules as they go, depending on who it is. I guarantee you, if that's the Pittsburgh Steelers, they get till Monday. I guarantee you. But Cleveland, we're gonna make Cleveland.
I don't think that
Baltimore would, not Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no. I think they did that with the Baltimore. See, this is my old theory on it. The Baltimore-Pittsburgh game, they did that and probably got so much backlash for it. They said, well, we just can't do it again.
Monday night, though, because we play a game Monday night every week. Just Monday night.
Well, I know, you could double up on a Monday night, but I'm talking like the fact that they pushed that all the way almost to a Wednesday.
Yeah, but see, that's not.
They
that's
really
not,
moved it back. Then it moved the Dallas game back for.
It moved the Washington
Jackson
and the Dallas game back because Dallas was playing Baltimore at the time and Washington was playing Pittsburgh. It just started pushing everything back. That I think that the NFL said. I mean, eventually we kind of just have to nip this in the bud and say, all right, you guys are just going to have to quarantine your guys. We got to try and stick to schedule.
But when they was doing that, they told Denver, y'all go play with no quarterback.
Oh, I know. The problem I had with that is the fact that they just didn't let them sign somebody that at least played the quarterback position because they have this it's like the 10-day rule. You have to at least be your 10 days for quarantine, and then you can join the team so that you at that last moment, they couldn't just say, well, we're going to go sign, a Blake Bortles or somebody that's a quarterback in waiting.
But this week, Tom, you should
Johnny Manziel's ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go this week.
So, guys, We got that talked about. We've got, let's see, is Justin Fields possibly going to be now the number one pick?
No.
In the NBA,
No.
we've got LaMelo to talk about and the Hornets. We've got other things to talk about. Speaking of being able to pick games, I'm tell you the Hornets' schedule so far. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Lost to Cleveland, that powerhouse. Lost to Oklahoma City, which I think has the worst roster in the NBA. Then beat the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, think of that.
Then beat the Dallas Mavericks. Then lost to Memphis with no Ja Morant.
Yep.
How do you pick any of that? It's the complete opposite
I
of
want-
what you
I
would
wanna
think
tell you
in
what
every one of those games. That's 5 for 5 pick against the Hornets, whatever the pick should be.
When I was watching the Hornets, I'm going to tell you what type of team they are. If you are going to play with the big boys that are going to run, like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, because they're going to get down there and they're going to fire it up, I think the Hornets have a chance because there's more possessions that they have a chance to get in. And if all of a sudden they get hot, they're going to be in every game. That's what happened against the Nets. And I didn't quite. And at the end of the game, if you watched it, I was over there asking Steve Nash, when you stick in Kyrie and Kevin Durant back in the game? Because it went probably down to like 7 or 8 minutes before he ever stuck them back in the game. And by then, they're down by 16. I mean, you have killed them. There's no way they can come back. But what a heck of a run they made. But the Hornets still come out on top.
He was trying to let the Hornets cover the spread,
I
Terry.
guess.
And
I don't know what it
And they
was.
blew the game is what happened there. Last night, Biombo led the Hornets in scoring
Yeah,
and
he
the
did.
loss of 16. So if that's the strategy, that's not going to do well. So we're going to talk about that and more. We've got, let's see, NFL picks to make. It's playoff weekend. Playoffs start today for a lot of teams around the NFL. And we're going to talk about that this weekend. I also want to talk about those Hornets colors last night, Hunter.
That was ugly.
Exactly what that was. I guess we got new team colors. NCAA, we're going to have picks for today. And then next week's games, we've got Clemson, Ohio State talk. Notre Dame, should they ever be allowed to play in the Final Four again?
No.
Is NC State the best team in the ACC now,
probably
Terry?
are. No, I would say second.
And will Dabo rate Clemson 13th now in his coaches poll after getting beat by the 11th ranked Ohio State team in his poll? It's just the biggest question. That's the biggest question I have. And Tom, is the ACC just overrated and the Big Ten underrated? We're going to talk about that in college football and more.
Yeah, we got to talk about that Wisconsin Wake Forest game too.
ACC's over, Big Ten's undefeated. I think
3-0.
3-0, and the ACC's over 4 on bowls right now.
That doesn't surprise me.
Do it.
And that just doesn't surprise me, though. I'm not surprised.
We're going to talk about all that. How about breakfast, guys? What do you guys have? JP, what you gnawing on there? Have you already ate this morning? You lean back like you've already ate, or you just hadn't got to it yet?
No, I was putting my schedule on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Before we talk about JP's delicious breakfast there, let's remember that it comes from Mitchum's Kitchen in Vale, North Carolina. And Terry goes by there every morning to get our breakfast. And I figure there's probably a little poison in mine this morning, Terry, because you knew you
There's
were going
more
to
than
get
that. You've already ate it, Tom. I hate it for you.
But my bacon, egg, and cheese on toast did not last very long. So thank you, Mitchum's Kitchen. Go ahead, JP. What'd you have?
I haven't eaten yet, but I will be having grits, eggs, bacon, and toast.
Man.
Yeah, smorgasbord.
Yeah, all I'm going to have, I had a liver mush and bologna on a bun with some mayonnaise.
I had a sunrise wrap.
You guys are sounding like you're ready to take a nap after getting your bellies full there. Now, here in our first break last week, I didn't know Hunter was going to be here, so I didn't bring your Christmas gift. So I got each one of you a Christmas gift. Now, I didn't spend no money on you guys. I don't think there's anything big.
We'd
coming.
expect nothing less.
Right. So Andrew Jackson took care of all 4 of you. I'll say that. He was a good president, if you get my drift. What, Tom?
I don't understand the reference.
Just go over.
He has no street smarts.
No,
he no street smarts. Terry.
Andrew
just
Jackson.
let it go flying over your head.
What
is Andrew
Even I
Jackson
got
on?
that one, Tom.
What
Really?
dollar bills he on?
Okay. I'm
He's
thinking,
so drunk from last night's
I'm
Ohio
thinking
State
too-
victory.
I'm thinking
he comes
too-
in almost late. You don't know Andrew Jackson.
I'm thinking we're like too historically, deep there. I'm thinking like, what kind of backhanded Native American reference is that?
All right, JP, come here and get yours because I'm not getting up.
All right.
All right, so we'll all open these at the same time for the most part. Hunter, That's yours.
This is a movie.
You know what it is.
I know what it is.
But
It's
you,
a movie.
But you don't know what it is.
Oh,
That's for Terry. And this is
mine's
for Tom.
just a box.
Oh, thank you, Kip.
You know, that was the biggest quote at Christmas this year for my kids was that they would open up pull the paper back and go, "I got a box."
That's what I did with
They
mine.
said that like half the presents. I thought it's funny. I'd never actually heard it before. I got a box on everything. So I tell you what, you guys start tearing into them, and then depending on who opens them up first, and you can kind of say what you got there as you go. So I got you all on the big screen here, and I'll switch back and forth. But you guys got some type of a theme. Something. Go ahead, JP. What you got? You got yours open first.
I got a Baby Yoda glass from the Mandalorian series.
You don't have that, do you? Hold
No,
it up
I
to,
do
hold it
not.
up to the camera.
No, I
hold
do
it up
not.
to the camera. There you go. A little
That is
Baby Yoda
hilarious.
glass. You
That's
can
great.
get drunk on Friday nights.
Tom got a dream. I hope I have a championship.
Hunter, what you got there? Hunter, what you got?
What's Tom got right here?
I got a Joe Carter baseball.
Cleveland Indians baseball card. I just randomly found that last night going through stuff before I threw it in.
Mid 80s.
Terry, what you got?
I got a 1998 national champion, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Now, the reason Terry got this one is it ain't a NASCAR big series. Since Terry brags about Kyle Busch in the minor league series,
Yeah.
this is a Dale Jr. minor league series race car. Tom, what is that?
Can I put this on the air?
Yeah, you can. Show Hunter what you got.
It is.
Chief Wahoo.
Oh Lord!
That's the Andrew Jackson reference right there. That's what any Native American would do.
I got Tommy a Chief Wahoo Cleveland Indians mask, so he's ready to rock. Tom, you're gonna look good behind the plate wearing that.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't wear this to school.
Is that allowed on that?
I could wear this on Indigenous Peoples Day,
Is that-
formerly known as Columbus Day.
Is that allowed on the umpiring field?
Probably.
No.
Why not?
But you know, around the house.
I figured you would wear that around the house. Hunter, what you got there?
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. You
The
hadn't seen
movie
it, right?
Days of Thunder. I have not.
He has not seen Days of Thunder.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God!
you're in North Carolina, from the South. You got to, even though it's Tom Cruise, he has nothing to do with North Carolina, but
No.
it is a good movie.
No.
And
This is not one of your dad's projects, is it?
Wow.
Where you can trade or
no.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
what
it's
do you
not
want?
one-
What do you want
Okay.
to trade for? The
no,
Joe
I
Carter
didn't.
card?
No, I didn't say that. I was just making sure this wasn't one of those somebody else could steal your gift.
Or do you want to
No.
trade? You want now, JP? You trying to steal JP's Yoda cup?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Terry.
I thought about
I'm
giving
good.
you. I thought about
You
giving you all
want
the wrong
Baby
gifts.
I'm
And
good.
just watch you be
right?
like, why would he give me this?
You want Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Give Terry the Chief Wahoo and JP the race car. I'd give Terry the Yoda. Is what I give. So
I appreciate
get the-
that,
hey.
Kevin,
Yeah.
and I also appreciate
I
your
do
dad. The one
appreciate
that we
it.
do there, I love that game, but a lot of times I see people really get hurt in that game
Oh,
with
yeah.
stuff that they get, and then all of a sudden it's taken from them.
Yeah.
You know,
poor feelings. Now, Terry, I do want to give a plug on that one. You found that one down at B&B Antiques in Gastonia. They've been an advertiser in the past, and they have. That's where I get some of my starting lineups from. They got a guy in there that has a bunch of them. He's got some that I already have, so I check in every once in a while. I got me a couple, and I saw that, and I was like, that fits perfect for our show and theme because Terry just constantly talks about that the Bush series. I was like, there's a Dale Jr. Bush car, and
well, he doesn't
nothing
have
would
a
fit.
national.
You don't have that one, do you?
No,
Okay.
no, he does not have the big time champion. That he can hold up and show to everybody else.
Now,
So-
Hunter, when you get done watching this movie, you're going to want to drink so much Meliella, and you're going to ride around saying Rubbin's Racing to everything. I'm just warning you.
Okay.
Rubbin's Racing, and you're going to want to drink some Meliella when that movie's over. So, but, yeah, it's got Tom and Nicole, and it does have Randy Quaid, so, he's good. All right, JP, you ready to take us to a break? When we come back, we're going to break down the games from last night, NCAA, and do some bad picks here in just a little bit on KTCBroadcasting.com.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle, clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
The Cherryville Country Club remains open for dinner on Friday nights and for Sunday lunch. Call your order in at 704-435-6597. Take it home and enjoy a great dinner or lunch. You can pick it up under the big black awning at the front. And it's time to get out and play golf, too. The weekly Captain's Choice Golf Tournament starts every Friday night at 5:30 p.m. Just call the Pro Shop to sign up at 704-435-6597. The Cherryville Country Club on the Roy Acre Road in Cherryville.
Ladies, how much time do you spend on your appearance each day? And how much money do you spend on your beauty products? In large cities like Los Angeles, the average woman spends $2,000 to $4,000 per month just to be beautiful in their outward appearance. But why spend so much money on outward appearance when God values inward beauty? 1 Samuel 16:7 says, God judges persons differently than humans do. Men and women look at the face, but God looks into the heart. Spend time with the Savior. Now that's a beauty tip that's priceless. This is Sherry Hefner, pastor's wife of First Baptist Cherryville, where we strive to accomplish all things through Christ.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
Tee it up in the shadows of beautiful Crowder's Mountain at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course. Playing Ride 18 Monday through Friday for $28 and $25 after 2 p.m. On weekends and holidays, play and ride for $38 and $33 after 2 p.m. Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for $18, and seniors play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. For your tee time, call 704-734-0383 for Crowder's Mountain Golf Course.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Went there and stayed, and then just got it. All right. Go ahead, Hunter. We're going to talk a little bit about the games last night. You want to break down the Notre Dame Irish?
Notre Dame should never be allowed back in the college football playoff.
Is that a consensus?
I mean, but
ACC gets 2 teams this year. Dabo has Ohio State ranked 11th. What's the argument? What's the other team that you guys think maybe coulda, shoulda been a Notre Dame spot if you don't think Notre Dame belonged in this year?
Oklahoma,
Texas A&M,
Cincinnati.
Texas I got 3 different answers.
Yeah.
But
college football.
Cincinnati got beat by Georgia, who had a number of starters out. I think they would have probably done about the same as Notre Dame.
Well, that's my whole point about it is, you had an undefeated team sitting there in Cincinnati. You could have put them there at the 4 because even if Alabama was a 28-point favorite, Alabama covered a 20-point spread against Notre Dame. So either way, the game really wouldn't have been.
They did.
They did.
They did.
They did.
It was 31
to 14. Yeah, it was 31-7.
Okay,
With
hold
less
on.
than 2 minutes.
You guys said
I do not care.
So go to Vegas and say no. Wait a minute. Alabama dominated the game. They're going to say no, boys. It was a 17-point game. Not a 19-point game.
That's how come the Irish scored.
But that's how come you guys just make
because
up stuff
Vegas
as you go.
just made a ton of money.
Tom.
Okay, I've just been told I don't have any street smarts, but I know what I know. I know that 17 is less than 19, fellas. I know that.
I don't even want to hear that.
If Alabama goes in there and still scores 31,
I don't even want to hear that.
You guys just said Alabama covered a spread, which they did not
when
cover.
you have a lot of
second-string
second-string players out there on the field at the end of the game so they can get some attention of who they are, and then they score. I don't even want to hear
Here's
that.
a yes or no question for you. Did Alabama cover the spread, Terry?
Yeah, they covered it.
I'll tell you.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's just, I guess
if you bet on that, folks, please don't call your bookie right now.
Yeah.
Say KTC.
If you just lie to yourself, that's fine. You know who should have been in there? Oklahoma.
No,
they
not
lost,
Oklahoma.
They lost games early. They won their conference. They beat a good Iowa State team to win their conference.
How can you say that, Tom?
Because they won their conference.
Because
Terry.
you had three
Because
teams
they
at the
lost
end
games
of the year that had a whole lot better record than Oklahoma.
Did they win their conference?
Coastal Carolina won their conference.
But the Coastal
San
Conference,
Jose State
not,
won their conference.
Yeah, but
Cincinnati won their conference
and was
they
undefeated.
were all better than Oklahoma.
Group of 5. No, you got to tell me Coastal Carolina is better than Oklahoma.
Probably are.
No,
they never played.
No, Dabo
they never
Sweeney,
played.
they're not. Okay, so
all
let's just go ahead
three
and
of those
establish that.
were conference champions,
but not a Power 5 conference.
And see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
If it's just going to be Power 5 teams, then tell me it's just going to be Power 5 teams.
This is what I think everybody else
not the college football playoff.
They should go. Now, that being said, when I just made a factual argument, when you guys are making up point spreads as you go, what I'm saying is go ahead and let's do the Power 5 plus 3, the 3 top ranked conference champions from the group of 5. And let's quit listening to Nick Saban cry every time you talk about expanding the playoffs because he doesn't want to win.
I mean, Tom, I agree with that.
Yeah, little Nicky gets what he wants.
I just think we can all sit here and agree that Notre Dame just shouldn't be back.
But we all also can sit here and say that Oklahoma shouldn't have been one of them for 4 December.
Oklahoma was a conference champion of
with
a power.
2 losses.
It doesn't matter, Terry. Washington's going to get in the playoffs with
Who
9
they
losses.
get beat by? One of them, Iowa State, which they come back beat them.
Who they
and
beat
then they
soundly,
got beat earlier.
Who they beat soundly in the conference title, which tells you they improved.
There's no way in the world I'd ever pick Oklahoma.
You just make up stuff as you go. You got to tell me that Coastal Carolina is better than Oklahoma and Alabama covered the spread.
This is how I look at it, Tom.
It's not even close to being
for
right.
this year. Alabama, whether or not they did cover the spread, so what? It was still a double-digit win. It was essentially, and
now
you know
they're changing.
It was
now they're changing.
we're not changing it.
Listen, Tom, we'll let you have your moment when you get to Ohio State.
They beat them with no trouble.
I am telling you right now, we all know they don't score that extra touchdown if you're Notre Dame if Alabama don't sit some players.
That's exactly
the truth.
right.
That's the truth. Because
doesn't matter, they didn't cover the spread.
But you watched. Okay, whatever. They didn't cover the spread.
whatever.
They still won the game handily. Okay,
I'm quite sure at Burns when they're playing, a lot of their second string and third string is in a game if they're up by 40. I guarantee they are.
Alabama wasn't up by 40.
I'm
just
saying,
up by 24.
There
one time it was 14
there was never a question that Alabama was going to lose that game. There was never a question.
Well, I agree with
even going into
now
that
you're
game,
saying something is factual. Yes.
even going into that game, there was never a question that Alabama was going to lose that game. And so what I'm talking about on why really I think Cincinnati should be the one that would have been in here. This is the year where everything can be different. You know, we actually had a team that only played 6 games to get in the playoffs. That's beside the point.
Besides the
Oh,
point.
okay.
That's beside the point.
We're going that route.
I'm
Okay.
just
Let's beat that
saying.
dead horse
I'm
again.
just saying. Whether or not, so let's just say Cincinnati gets beat by 20. Were they not supposed to get beat by 20? Then what was the difference then if we put Texas A&M in there and they get beat by 20?
Because
at that 4 spot, it really but that 4 spot really didn't matter because no matter who you put in there, you said they had no shot of beating Alabama.
Probably not.
So why not put a Cincinnati in there who led Georgia 3 out of the 4 really until the last 12 seconds?
Well, because Notre Dame's got to get their money. I'm not. I'm not going to stick up for Notre Dame.
I know. I'm just saying that this is what I had the problem with them putting Notre Dame in general. It's that you could have put in Cincinnati, and a lot of people will say, well, Cincinnati just can't compete. They can't compete with a Power 5 team. Well, Notre Dame is a Power 5 team this year, and they always talk about Notre Dame's a traditional powerhouse, and they still got beat by double digits. So at that point, it's like,
and the game never was in doubt.
And it's a question. It's like, so what do you consider competing in that spot? Maybe you don't get beat by 20, but you still get beat by double digits. You competed. That's how I look at it. You could have put Cincinnati in there and given that school the money. You probably can get. We could all sit here and say that Cincinnati probably could have used that money a whole lot more than Notre Dame could.
If you would have got in that game and the Fighting Irish are marching and the game's on the line and it's less than 6 points or 7 or even 8 points and they're going to tie it, Alabama would have had their starters in there. The Fighting Irish would have never marched down the field to score at the very end.
And this is what holds back Notre Dame, and certain schools. When you look at Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson, what do they all have? Probably a first-round quarterback. You look at Ian Book play, and yes, he's got the most wins in Notre Dame history as a quarterback.
He's second behind Lawrence.
And he's second behind Lawrence in wins. But Ian Book, and I was talking with my buddy about this because he made the comparison on Twitter. I said, you know what? It's 100% because I saw it for 3 or 4 years at Georgia. Ian Book is Jake Fromm at Georgia. And there's nothing wrong with having a good college quarterback. But usually if you have matchup-wise a college quarterback against a good college quarterback versus a potential first-round draft pick and is going to be a very good professional quarterback, it comes down to these games that have championship caliber potential on them, like in Alabama versus Notre Dame, Clemson when they had Trevor Lawrence versus Notre Dame. They just don't get you over the hump. That's why as a Georgia fan, I struggled for years when we let Justin Fields just walk out the door and didn't start him over Jake Fromm. It's like, look, I get it. Jake Fromm going to win you if it's a 12-game season, probably 10 games. But he's not going to win you the game. And that's how I felt like Notre Dame was with Ian Book. The team as a whole around him might win, but he just is not going to make enough plays like a Mac Jones, like a Trevor Lawrence, like a Justin Fields. These guys, even if they would have played, I feel like a Notre Dame versus a fully healthy and nobody opting out Florida, I think Kyle Trask outduels Ian Book.
Florida doesn't have a whole lot of defense.
No, they don't. They don't. But I still would say we got a first-round potential quarterback here in Kyle Trask, and I think he's going to make more plays than Ian Book. That's just how it goes.
I just think
I've seen it so many times.
We're going to have this argument over and over again until you do what's right and then make that at least 8 games and make it conference champions. Quit this. Oh, Texas A&M's better than Oklahoma, or blah, 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 blah. I think blah blah blah. Well, I like daisies better than tulips. Who cares?
Well,
let's start giving the conference champion who wins the biggest game of the year on the biggest stage. That's the one that gets in the playoffs, and we're done with this
what is it,
nonsense.
What is it? 10 conferences? Isn't it 10 conferences? A group of 5 and Power 5.
Group of 5. Let 3 Power 5 put their champions in. And
because if you just want to do conference championships, then what's a 10-team playoff? I'm pretty sure.
I just said the top 3 group of 5. Top 3.
Instead of just before we even get there, just to slightly improve this system, the least they could do is say these are the rules. Only top 5. Also, we're going to go by who we think is the best team, or who deserves to be in the playoffs, which are 2 completely different things. Because that's one thing that people that aren't big fans of it look at it, and when they argue about the final spots, they're like, well, are you arguing, do you take the top 4 teams, or do you arguing who had the best, do you reward Cincinnati as saying who had the best 4 seasons, which are completely different things. And in all other sports, usually reward who had the best seasons based on your record and how you did. And if they tell the group of 5 guys that you got to go undefeated, and really what they make them do is go undefeated 2 or 3 years in a row before they even recognize them.
They screwed UCF for years,
and those might not even be your best teams. So you just it's hard. Whatever you got now. If they would just give some type of criteria and say this is the rules, this is what we're going with, because sometimes we argue the same thing but different things when we say, well, I hear one of you say, well, they're not as good as so-and-so. Or like Coastal's not as good as Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma lost 2 games and Coastal went undefeated. So it's 2 different arguments, I think, with those 2.
Did Coastal lose their last game?
Well, I'm just saying, in regards of the argument.
Did Oklahoma lose their first 2?
Let us know before it starts. Like, hey, we're going to reward what we think's the best 4 teams, or is it the 4 best seasons?
And people probably get tired of hearing me harping saying that Cincinnati should have been in Cincinnati, but it's exactly what Kevin said. If it's only supposed to be Power 5 teams, then I wouldn't scream Cincinnati.
Right.
But if it's supposed to be open to the whole college football playoff for everybody,
it's kind of the de facto rule that it's Power 5 teams.
And I have a hard time when you said here, and Cincinnati was number 6. They ended up number 9.
They just kept falling back every
there's
week.
no way that can happen. If that had been Ohio State comes, they'd have never failed. You'd have forgot that.
As a Georgia fan, I was sitting there watching that game too, and I'll say, Cincinnati outplayed us the whole game. All it came down to, seriously.
Not in the second half, Hunter. Their Georgia's defense locked them down after that long run in the second half. Georgia's defense locked them down.
We lose that game if Luke Fickell and them do not botch time.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Hunter,
we lose that game.
Don't just say that Cincinnati outplayed because the Georgia defense in the second half.
Tom, I watched the game. I know what I saw. Ritter outplayed JT Daniels. Okay, their run game was better than ours.
Not in the second
half. I watched the game.
I watched the game,
and I watched it more as a fan of Georgia. But I'm just telling you right now what I saw.
Disgruntled fan.
I'm telling you what I saw. Cincinnati played better than Georgia did
in the first half,
and Georgia was able to get the field goal. I'm just saying that's exactly what happened. And so when I hear people say Cincinnati can't compete, or these Group of 5 teams can't compete with Power 5 teams, I just kind of laugh at it. I think it's funny because even though they lost, I mean, was it by 2? Yeah, it was by 2 because of a safety. Or 3. It was 22. Yeah,
24-21.
It wasn't a safety. They went for 2, missed it.
They got a safety.
They got a safety at the end of the game.
Yeah. But so the thing that bothers me is when I sit back and I sit back. The NCAA never made no rule of how many games you had to play this year, but the Big Ten had a rule, and then the Big Ten had to go into their little conference to put Ohio State in.
Now we're talking about something totally different.
No, we're not. We're talking about the same stuff here. But so really, to me, Ohio State should have never been in this themselves. Mm-hmm. Because their own conference had a rule that they shouldn't have been in there.
Well, they
changed it. No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
And get in and
but you know what they've done?
You
know what's wrong is they've let you in, but if y'all don't win the national title, it's a failure. They went back and changed the rule that they've had in conference play forever to let y'all in, and if y'all don't beat Alabama, it's a failure.
Tom, I will say this about it.
Whatever.
I'm glad you beat Clemson because to me. And I'll say this, my ideal championship that would have been better for college football was Notre Dame, Ohio State, because I don't want to see Alabama, Clemson Part 7 or whatever it is. I don't want to see it. I think it's terrible for the sport. It's getting boring at this point. It's getting stale. So I'm glad you beat Clemson. But I do agree with Dabo in saying I don't think you should have been in. But I'm not going to sit here and say that you're the 11th best team in the nation. It just comes down to the point where it's like,
well, but why does everybody act like, oh, well, we just took 3 games off? It was like coronavirus. It's not like we didn't want to play.
It was not our rule. It was your own conference rule.
It was your own conference rule.
If our own conference changes the rule, what do you care?
You know,
what's it got to do with you?
They changed the rule, but
I was hot about the Big Ten changing the rule.
The second one don't count.
I was hot about the Big Ten changing the rule.
God forbid the Bill of Rights come about.
But the college, I think. But I just think it's unfair for the college in college football, just the whole playoffs that you got to play, the 6 games you did, and how I will always look at it is you had a less amount for margin of error than these other schools that played 9 to 10 games.
And they would have played Maryland, Michigan, and Illinois, who they would have beat all 3 games. And those would have been games where you could have gotten tuned up.
But I guarantee on that last week, if you would have called Texas A&M and said, let's play, they'd have said, okay.
Well, of course they're going to play. They're going to say, okay, y'all got to come here. We're not going up
No,
there.
they would have not. They would have come to your place.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, of course they would. Texas A&M
Jimbo Fisher would have come to your place.
Texas A&M really didn't have Texas A&M had no room to finagle and say, y'all got to come here. If anything, it would have made it look even better if Texas A&M went to Ohio State and played at Ohio State.
I'm sick and tired of all this other blah, blah, blah. You win your conference is number one. And I will say this, the year that Ohio State didn't win their conference, didn't go to the championship game, and then they put them up there against Clemson, who they weren't ready to play, and got beat 31-0. That is why you don't let a non-conference champion in. Because you're not playing well at the end of the year. You win your conference, and Terry keeps saying, you lost 2 games. And who cares about 2 games you lost 3 months ago if you have got your ship right at the end of the year and you won your conference, which is the biggest game of the year, the conference champion game? Why are we talking about a game back in September? Because
I do know that if it was State or Carolina or somebody like that, they would have been done. They wouldn't even have been up there.
If Carolina would have lost to Florida State and come back and somehow won the ACC, you put Carolina in the playoff because they are a conference champion.
They'd have never done that.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, they're our conference champion.
They would have never done that.
You're right. If we went by this is the standard. I always say it. The standard is the standard. And if that's the standard and we're taking conference champions, then guess what? Notre Dame should have never been in there.
It should be the de facto standard. Just like it's the de facto standard to eliminate the group of 5 at all costs. The de facto standard, especially after Ohio State lost that, didn't even get into their own championship game, and somehow they get in the playoff. And that year, even though I hate Penn State should have been in that playoff.
Well, if that's the case, Tom, would it not just benefit the group of 5 to say, screw you, we're going to have our own playoff?
I wouldn't blame them for doing that. I'm not saying I blame them for doing that. But if you are a Power 5 team and you won your conference, that should be the highest mark you get. When we're talking about games it's that you lost 2 months ago, and then you got your ship straightened out, and you won the conference champion.
So you're a person going to sit here and tell me, Tom, you're going to sit here and tell me when Florida played LSU and they lost to LSU, Florida fell 1 spot. So you're going to say that's the way it should be?
No, I didn't. That's not what I said. If Florida would have won the conference, Florida should have gone to the playoff, and Alabama should have been left out. And you could say, well, they're the best. It doesn't matter. If Green Bay goes out next week in the NFL and loses a playoff, you're out. Doesn't matter if you are better than the other team on paper. So I'm just not understanding why we do not recognize a team that wins the biggest game of the year on the biggest stage. That's the team that gets in the playoffs.
I'm going to recognize a conference champion when Oregon gets beat by Iowa State.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It does. So clearly the committees and everything for years and still do.
What are you talking about?
Say that
they
go by who they think the best team is.
What's that got to do with it?
So the fact that they do go by a best team that they think and they have for years, I have no problem with the 6 wins. They've won 7, and then now they've won 8, right?
No, they've won 7.
They've won 7.
They just now got to number 7.
No. Wait a minute. They won. Yeah.
They won
This
6
is
in the
7.
conference, right?
Yeah.
No, because they had to make them.
The 6th game was
the sixth game was the conference championship. So they've won 7.
They
won 7. Yeah.
All right. So Clemson played Wake Forest, Citadel, Virginia, Miami, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Boston College, Notre Dame twice, Pittsburgh, and Virginia Tech. Which one of those teams does Ohio State need to be tested by to prove their worth? Is it Notre Dame?
Virginia Tech would have gave them all they wanted. They're not good, but they would have gave them all they wanted.
Clemson beat Virginia Tech 45-10. Tom.
Well, I'm just telling you.
It's hard to deal with sometimes,
Citadel,
especially when they go off on their tangents. And
Citadel
all of a sudden
49-0, Georgia Tech 73-7.
It's Oregon.
Oregon, or who cares? What
Oregon.
are you even arguing about?
Because you're sitting here arguing and talking about what should just be conference champions and conference champions.
Oregon, should I say Oregon
won their conference
put
this
them in
year.
the playoff?
Oh my God! They played like 4 games.
Did they win their conference?
Yeah, because nobody could.
Do they win?
Damn play in that conference.
Did they win the conference?
I'm gonna watch.
I think you know my position. I think you know my position.
I'm gonna watch a conference champion today in Oregon get beat by the 2nd place team in the Big 12.
Iowa State's pretty good. I'm not saying. I never said that if you win the conference, you're the best team. You won the conference. You won the biggest game of the year by winning the conference championship game. That's what gets you in. Just like in basketball, when you win the conference tournament, you get the automatic bid to the big tournament. That's the way football should be.
So you thinking way back in the old days when they only took the tournament champion, that the team that won the regular season.
That would be better than what we have now. That would be better than what we have now, I think.
Anything would be better than what they're doing now.
Because to you, at the end of the year, it's whoever wins that
conference champion.
Mike Leach said it best about 2 years ago after Washington State played a bowl, or was getting ready for a bowl game.
This guy's team was in a big brawl the other day, by the way.
Yeah,
go ahead. Let's take his opinion.
Mike Leach, he said it best. He said, this is what he said, if Division II can do it, why can't we do it? Talking about a playoff. And I think the guy that's team got in a brawl, I think he was right on that statement.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, and it's the truth. If Division II, who doesn't bring in nearly the amount of money that Division I FBS does,
not enough scholarships to compare.
Nothing. If they can do it, I think it's might be a 16-team playoff. That's how North Dakota State wins. It is a playoff system, and LR made a run a few years ago too.
Yeah, that's Appalachian. They won a few.
Exactly. If Division II can do it, then what? And all these schools are on the same time period because that's what Division I has been pushing for years. They say we got to be done by Christmas. We got to be done by this time so the kids can take their exams. Well, the Division II schools they're on the same time schedule. They don't have a different school year like you do. If Division II can do it, Division I can do it.
Yeah,
and you know why they don't want to do it? Because they don't want to see a possible Alabama upset from Cincinnati. They just don't want to see it. They don't. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the possibility of it, they don't want to see it.
I do agree. I'm just saying that under the current way, conference championship should carry more weight, but it definitely would serve these other schools better if you would expand the playoffs. I won't disagree there. Although that was, I know you brought it up, an ugly brawl with Mississippi State. I don't know if we have time to talk about that. Did y'all see that?
Did you see the drop kick?
It was awful. Oof. It was terrible.
Oof.
It was terrible.
Mike Leach over there taking pictures with fans, and his team just goes crazy.
Some kids, Mike Leach, I don't have a whole lot of respect for, but that somebody should have got arrested after that thing. I mean, it was pretty bad. So I hate to agree with Mike Leach, but yeah, they need.
But that's when a team that has a losing record beats a team who has a winning record. When you let anybody in tournaments, and some teams should have never even been in it, like Mississippi State.
Well, it was a bowl game.
Who cares? Should have never been in it because you know what? We're going to talk crap when we beat you.
Yeah,
and we're no good because you know what? We're from the SEC. We are the power #1 conference.
Well, don't get well, it's the truth, Terry. But I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ask Auburn that when they played Northwestern.
Yeah, but the Big Ten is, but I mean,
Northwestern.
The Big Ten is 3-0, and
Northwestern it was right behind North Carolina and Coastal right now, Tom. So there you go.
I know.
And
rankings
Florida,
won't change until it's all over.
I know. And Florida, who's lost 3, Iowa State, who's lost 3. So if Ohio State beats Alabama, and they've only played 9 games, and Dabo says you got to play 10 to get his.
No, Dabo said 9. He said minimum would have been 9.
I was just wondering if
who cares what he says.
I was just wondering, does that mean are we going to have a split national championship in the AP polls or whatever? And
wouldn't surprise me
because Alabama, you just didn't play enough teams, Tom. You beat Alabama, you beat Clemson, you beat Indiana, you beat.
Wait a minute,
Northwestern.
Wait a minute. What are you looking at here? This is what I was telling Tom when we was in here before we ever started. If I play less games, I'm a whole lot healthier than if you're playing your 10.
And you don't have enough games to get worked out.
Clemson played Citadel.
You need the games, yeah.
I do not care. I played 10. He played 6.
Jeez.
That doesn't. You can't. There's no
4 more games for my guys to go out there and have an ACL.
Would be acting the same way.
It happens in the NBA every night.
I know. Doesn't matter.
Teams play a different number of games.
Yeah.
Coach K plays nobody. All right, it's time for bad picks. We're gonna play that, and then
I'm gonna sit back on this.
And then we're gonna come. Terry's gonna sit back on that. We're gonna come back, and we're gonna pick our college games for today. And we're back just now. We've got about 11 picks. Hunter is the star of the show on this one, so we welcome you back.
Hunter, there was a couple weeks ago you went unbeaten.
Yeah,
I will give you that credit. I remember that.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a one.
It was
even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Far fall from grace. Is that the saying on that one?
Fall far from grace.
I think I got that right. All right, here we go. Here's this week's bad picks on KTC.
Bad picks.
Western Kentucky.
The Hilltoppers?
Yes.
All right, over the Panthers.
All right. Just in case you're a compulsive gambler.
Georgia State wins 39-21 over Western Kentucky.
Terry says, since Liberty almost beat the Wolfpack, you should pick them.
That's exactly right.
They're playing in Orlando for $39 and 38 degrees.
Nope, can't do it. Coastal Carolina is playing. Actually, I know a lot of people could say this game has nothing to be played for, but Coastal Carolina is playing for bragging rights. So I'm going to take Coastal.
Wrong pick.
They want to say that we had an undefeated season.
Bad
Coastal
picks.
Carolina.
Bad picks.
Coastal Carolina.
Is my daughter going to be making fun of you next week?
Nope.
Liberty wins 37-34 over Coastal Carolina. Bad picks.
So I think Van Gundy will figure it out. I like Oklahoma State.
Can we not get an injury report for Tom?
I know.
Every time he's asking about some individual. Is this one dude out of this 90-some team?
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I know something about the team besides the geographical location, Terry.
Listen, I'm not picking Oklahoma State to beat Miami.
Miami couldn't stop a cup of water.
Yeah.
What are you talking
They
about?
couldn't stop him running. Chuba Hubbard opted out.
Yeah, but I need to know
Best
about this
running back for
one guy
Oklahoma
out of
State.
y'all's 93. Is he hurt?
Best running back for Oklahoma State opted out. So I'll take Miami.
Injury report.
Oklahoma State wins 37-34 over Miami.
Florida, you can't even beat LSU, and definitely you're not going to beat Oklahoma.
Not so fast.
Hunter disagrees.
I disagree.
All right.
Florida's defense is terrible.
I'm taking the better quarterback.
Oklahoma wins 55-20 over Florida. Bad picks.
Who
What are you
needs this
playing
game
for?
more? What are you playing for? Who needs this more? I think Arizona wins this game. I
Bad
like
pick.
Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers.
Bad
I think
pick.
I think anybody can beat anybody in that division.
He just doesn't want Arizona to get in because that was my sweetheart.
Bad pick.
49ers win 20-12 over the Cardinals.
Browns, y'all better close it out.
Browns are one game from first and one game from out of the playoffs.
So you better win.
Crowded
Is
field.
that not
Yeah, you
ridiculous?
better win this
Better
one,
win.
Browns.
With 10 wins, we're one game out of first and one game out of the playoffs, and the Cowboys have a
listen,
chance at 5-9.
Even when the Jets win, they lose. So
Yeah, rebuilding
You
since
better win.
1964.
Cleveland better close it out.
Jets win 23-16 over the Browns. Bad picks.
On the road, Phillip Rivers is playing pretty well. Pittsburgh's in disarray. Big Ben looks like he's about as old as the clock over there in England. Let's go with the Colts.
Well, that's
a
loss.
bad pick.
Yeah.
I got Phillip Rivers for 4
Oh, that's
interceptions.
right. I'm
this
even
weekend.
writing down the wrong
Colts.
team.
Tom,
I
I
can't
got
believe
you.
he's picking against Phillip
That's
Rivers.
a good pick.
Steelers win 28-24 over the Colts.
The Bengals looked like they were revamped, looked pretty good, beating Terry's Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can do it twice.
They can beat the Steelers, but can't handle the Texans.
No, I think the Texans are going to get the win.
The Beagles win 37-31 over the Texans. Bad picks.
Go ahead, Hunter, because we're going to be tied with y'all after this week.
Sorry, Terry, that's not going to happen. I'm taking the Eagles.
Not so fast, Terry.
There's a bad pick.
Tom.
Jalen hurts your feelings.
Cowboys win 37-17 over the Eagles.
I'm going with the Fighting Riveras. I think they get a win.
The Fighting
Where
Rivers.
you going with the Panthers?
Great pick.
Going with the Panthers?
In the
Excellent
Panther Bowl,
pick.
I think Washington's going to win that division. I think Ron Rivera, a lot of people didn't like him in Charlotte. I think he's a good guy and he's a good coach. I think he's
Bad pick.
Panthers win 20-13 over Washington.
Is this in Tennessee?
Green Bay.
I'm still taking the Titans.
And it's only 28 degrees in Green Bay right now.
You're taking the Titans?
I'm taking the Titans.
No.
That's the one I'm out on a limb with. Because I saw
right.
Tampa.
Packers win 40-14. Those are some bad picks. Better picks next year, guys.
Would have had some good picks.
well, at least all the games I pick, and if the one goes the other way, at least it's close. I don't say like Clemson going to beat Ohio State by 30. I don't make any
Tom,
outlandish.
have we even
ridiculous
mentioned
statements.
that yet on here? No,
Well,
that was not even on them picks.
True or false? Did you say Clemson would beat Ohio State by 30?
Is that was on That's not even on bad
I'm
picks.
done.
Those will be featured on next weekend's picks. We,
You missed, Tom.
I wasn't coming
I'm
in
done.
last night at midnight to put that on the reel. Those are my kids wishing you guys some better picks next year. So
It's officially next year.
right,
So it's
And
clean slate.
So clean slate. Today also, real quick, I didn't get to it last week because I wasn't thinking about party. Son's birthday party is today. He turns 9, so that was
How about that?
he was wanted to be featured on the show this week. One of the things he wants to do, Hunter, is he wants to start a YouTube show.
Yeah.
Building Legos. I don't know what he's going to build.
I have a cousin. Her son is 7, and he wants to start a YouTube of Minecraft.
Okay.
Hobby, whatever, let him do it. I mean,
The highest paid YouTuber this year on YouTube was 9 years old.
does not surprise me.
I don't know what he was doing. I haven't went into that part. I just saw the headline.
The money that can be made on the internet is silly.
You know, actually, me and my best friend wanted to do that.
Do what?
We wanted to do a YouTube.
Build Legos?
No. Well, I guess we have enough, actually. I have 4 boxes full at home. But besides the point, one's nothing but Batman Legos.
JP, it's too much information. But
okay.
I'm not ashamed. I love Legos.
Okay.
I love Legos.
JP, do you want to start a Lego show with my son?
Sure.
See? That's what we're getting. That's what
There you go.
I don't know optically if that
that probably would not be the best idea now that I think about
I'm
it.
just saying.
Yeah, that's probably not the best idea. No, we wanted to do a video review video called Real Life, REEL.
Yeah, I get it. Play on words, I get it.
Just kind of watch movies and just kind of give our review and just put on there. Spoiler alert, there are a lot of spoilers in this, but just kind of give our...
JP, I would tell you what.
So you want to be Mystery Science Theater, JP?
Just do it.
Well, we don't. Well, we
do you know what Mystery
would do
Science Theater is?
It sounds familiar, but I haven't.
It'd be a good day to do it right now since there's not many videos out there.
Yeah.
See, back in the old days, they used to do that, and that's what the show was called.
Oh.
Google that while you're in there typing
JP,
into that thing. Lean back.
Just do it. And you know
Well,
why?
I need the camera. I don't have the camera.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Whenever you do, just do it because you never know. If you might get lucky,
I
and
agree.
it
All right.
pops off.
All right, JP, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to make our college football picks for today. Then we're going to talk NFL, NBA, and more on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could go look at a new car or truck and you didn't have to worry about getting caught up in those games that waste half your day? Well, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City is different because we're fast, easy, and transparent. We have over 300 new and used vehicles on the ground with clear choice pricing and the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and a free lifetime warranty on every new car. You better believe Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram is different, and you can find us in Forest City.
Plumbing problems? Well, if you're not an expert plumber, then we invite you to call the Expert Plumbers. That's Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. Just call 828-245-7302. Recommended since 1973. From faucets to sinks to toilets, from sewer and drains to well pumps, from dishwashers to disposals to bathroom remodeling, residential and commercial, new homes too. Don't let your plumbing problems drive you plumb crazy. Call Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. 828-245-7302 or visit the website at olmstedplumbing.com.
You'll be first on race day with a stop at Kings Mountain Auto Supply, 904 West Gold Street in Kings Mountain. You'll find a full line of auto parts. They've got it all, and they even carry racing fuel. So before you head out to the track, get your racing fuel from Kings Mountain Auto Supply. Give them a call at 704-739-0391. In addition to great prices, you'll get friendly and knowledgeable service as well. Kings Mountain Auto Supply, 904 West Gold Street in Kings Mountain. Open Monday through Friday from 8 till 6, Saturdays 8 till noon. Like them on Facebook too. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincolnton. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
If you're in the market for new flooring, go to this area's most recommended flooring store. That's Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Flooring America in Kings Mountain is where friends send friends for their flooring needs. And right now, you'll find the ever-popular luxury vinyl plank for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. All during the Fresh Start Flooring Sale. Give your home a refresh with one stop at Flooring America. 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com.
Don't miss the Golf Shop Radio Show this Wednesday from 11 to 12, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the leader in traditional golf apparel. Mark Greenheld and Matt Blanchard go from tee to green and everything in between. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country, WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
And we're back.
All right, after listening to that nonsense, let you listen to
Not the
something
commer-
that does
not
make
the com-
sense.
not
It
the
makes
commercial
sense.
women, not
It
the-
makes sense.
The commercials weren't nonsense, Tom. Clear that up.
Oh, I'm
right?
sorry. The commercials weren't nonsense. I'm sorry. If
The
anybody-
off-air
no.
banter.
Listening
Terry's
to
nonsense.
what goes on in between the commercials. So sorry for the confusion. I was going to say this is not nonsense. Get yourself on over to Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. Or Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Get you a Gladiator, get you a Rogue, get you a new car for a new year.
All right.
2021.
This will be kind of a
2021.
quick segment. Only 5 games. We'll let everybody talk about all of them so I can have something to cut next week. Game number 1 today at noon o'clock. The Wolfpack proved they're the best team in the ACC by defeating an SEC team in the opponent and becoming the only ACC team with a bowl win. They play the Wildcats of Kentucky. Kentucky, Terry, is 4-6. You guys are 8-3, and they're favored by 2.5.
Oh, you want me to start this?
No, I'm just telling you. What do you think about that spread? Why are
That
they
don't mean
favored by
nothing
2.5, being 4-6?
Because they
against
from
your
the SEC.
8-3?
That's the only reason they did that. North Carolina State wins.
Easy?
No, it'll be close.
Okay.
We're not going to beat them bad.
Tom?
We'll probably have our second and third strings at the end, let them get close.
Do I want to go with Terry or do I want to go with the hated SEC? This is kind of like rocking a hard place.
It's
for me.
boring if we all pick the same team.
It is boring if we all pick the same team, but I think State's going to win this ball game over Kentucky.
Kentucky Wildcats.
That
favored.
puts it on you, Hunter.
Now,
I won't
you
take
can get a
Kentucky.
ticket, guys. Now, break the bank here for $13.
Damn, I can't afford it. Can't do it.
$13 in Jacksonville today.
Can't do it.
At noon. Well, you ain't got time to get
In
there.
Jacksonville, too. Can't do it.
You can wire somebody $13 to go to the game in Jacksonville right now, but you ain't gonna make it.
The
from here.
plane ticket to try and get down there just as fast would cost more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. We can't all just go on the same one. So I'm going to take Kentucky. I do
You
not care.
can.
Listen. I'm fine.
You probably
if
win
I,
the next one.
I am fine. Well, the next one probably.
Bad pick.
But I'm going to take Kentucky. If I get on bad picks, that's
Good job,
fine.
Tom.
But I'm going to take Kentucky, and I will sit here and say confidently, I will take Kentucky.
You're gonna sit there and
I
confident.
will say one thing about Kentucky. You know, they got that one guy that got injured at the start of the year, and they have, been playing for him, number 22. I know a lot of them wear his number every week. So, they are playing for something. And, I'm 100% behind any of that. If Kentucky wins, hey, give it to that guy. Take the ball to that guy. If that's what happens, it's not going to bother me. But, I'm pulling for State.
Kentucky
So-
this year beat Mississippi State, Tennessee,
Think about who they beat.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, think about who they beat.
and South Carolina.
There you go.
They
They
Alabama
lost to-
squeaked by 63-3.
Mm.
Georgia only beat them 14-3. So Alabama is 51 points better than Georgia, according to the
No,
Kentucky
we have
measurement.
seen Georgia and Alabama play, and they are not that many points better, but they are better.
All right, so those are our picks, right?
I'll stick
Everybody
with
wants to
Kentucky.
change.
That's fine.
All right, Tommy. Ole Miss in Indiana in Raymond James Stadium today. Tampa Bay, 70 degrees.
I'll give me Indiana. I think they're playing well with their backup quarterback.
Hoosiers in the Outback Bowl.
They played well and got a
Covers
good coach.
9.5. They covering?
They covering? I don't know if they cover. That's a lot of points. Of
All
course.
right. Terry, what you got?
I always look at defense, and I'm going for Indiana.
They covered?
I don't think they cover. It'll be close.
Over under is 67 in this game. Hunter, what you got?
I'll take Indiana.
You just got done saying it's boring if we
I
all
know.
take the same
Cover.
team.
I know.
Covered.
But this
You
one,
can't
I-
make your
guys
third pick
contradict-
every time, though.
They
can't.
contradict themselves all the time.
We'll
all
go
the
backwards.
time.
I will. I'll do it this time because I think Kentucky will give NC State a good game and can
I
possibly
think
win
it'll
that
be
game.
close. It'll be-
But
yeah, they could.
for this one, I like what Lane Kiffin's doing at Ole Miss, but I don't. As of right now, I don't think they're better than Indiana.
They don't play a whole lot of.
All right, the de facto other national championship game, however you want to word it, the Pac-12 champion against or Oklahoma won the Big 12. Never mind, I just totally ruined that. All right, never mind. Oregon, Iowa State, Hunter.
Iowa State.
Iowa State's favored by 5. Now tickets for this are $344.
Oh.
Terry,
Iowa State, that's easy.
Tommy?
Going with Oregon with an upset. I think Oregon's been disrespected by a lot of people because
That's a
Western
bad
State.
Especially at this
You
time.
just got beat by Oklahoma State. Yeah.
I like Oregon.
Oklahoma State was terrible.
Didn't Oklahoma State beat Iowa State this year?
Yeah, they did.
So the
the contradictions are
right.
incessant.
Just whatever.
At this
State.
Did you mean Oregon State?
Yeah, Oregon State.
Yeah, that's who beat Oregon.
Yeah,
Okay.
beat Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon State beat Oregon.
And finally, the game of the night, Hunters National Championship game. Texas A&M and North Carolina. The Aggies are favored by 7.5. Tickets for this game in the Hard Rock Stadium of Miami, $37. And it's 75 degrees in Miami.
A nice day.
Hunter, Aggies or Tar Heels?
Texas A&M will win this game
in the Orange Bowl.
Texas A&M will win this game, but it's good for North Carolina to be in this kind of a bowl game. Was it first one this as prestigious for like 70 years?
It's good for them to be in this ball game when everybody on their team says, "Oh, I'm opting out. I'm opting out." You have no linebackers. You have no running back. I mean, what else? I mean, Texas A&M ought to beat them like a drum.
Bueller, Terry. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't mind anybody that's opting out of games that really are meaningless.
I'm just glad you got a reference before to the 2000 there. I'm proud of you.
So
I have seen movies. Okay,
I wouldn't have bet on Ferris Bueller.
I
if
just
you
don't
seen Days
watch
of
a lot
Thunder.
of
One of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of movies.
Listen,
I think y'all been on the
But you
couch
did
watching
pick
that
Texas
all
A&M.
night.
Listen, that's fine. I picked Texas A&M to win
They
because
should.
guess what? They should win. You're right. North Carolina's got a lot of guys opting out, and I have no problem with them opting out. They're going to go make millions. Fine. What good is it going to do? Javonte Williams going out here and tear his ACL, and he's the second-ranked running back and going into the draft next year.
You know what
Nothing.
hurt you?
So
it
I'm
hurts you
fine.
when Texas A&M gets somebody that you thought you were going to get, and they pull them to Texas A&M because they just waxed y'all. It's what's going to happen because they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to go to this team over here because every one of their players stayed. When I go there, I don't know what's going to happen there because half their players not even going to play when it comes to a big game.
Listen,
I think Coastal deserves
another
to be in this
reason,
game.
another
more than
real
North Carolina
reason
did.
why Texas A&M is going to win this game. Not only because I think Texas A&M is the better team, is because Texas A&M is kind of mad that they weren't in that 4th spot Notre Dame was. So they're going to come out there and be pissed.
A few years back, in 2017, State had to play Texas A&M. We had the same problem. Chubb, all of them opted out, so we're not playing.
Oh,
we're not playing in this game. And half our linebackers say, you know what, we're not playing. Texas A&M beat us like a drum. And that's what's going to happen here.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying it's good, just like it would have been good for Cincinnati. It still was good for Cincinnati
Why did
to
you
make
go there
the
to
Peach
play?
Bowl.
You know, for a meaningless game, they've gone on and on about this.
Yeah, why should you go there to play if you're not going to finish what you started?
Are y'all done?
You didn't finish what you started.
Have y'all made the pick? Did you make the pick?
Tamu.
Yes, we have.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
North Carolina's going to win the game.
There you go. There's a bad pick.
You know why? Because Mac Brown is a better coach than Jimbo Fisher.
Tom,
he is going to find a way.
Tom,
he is going to find a way. Carolina
if
is
you're
going to find
right,
a way to win this
if
game.
you're right and North Carolina wins, I will be so happy and I will text you and I will thank you. I personally,
I'm just telling you.
not in the group
But
chat.
at halftime, when I text you, Tom, and say, "Hey, I got you on
when
it."
you got coaches,
Bad pick, Tom.
When you got coaches like Jimbo Fisher and Dabo
Bad
Swinney
pick.
out disrespecting the other team and
Make sure I
running
get
their
that on
mouth
camera.
and they're acting more like a cheerleader than a coach, I think Mac Brown's gonna prepare his guys. I think there's still enough talent.
Mac Brown's
going to
prepare his guy
beat
when he lost to a Florida State, when
beat
he lost to
Texas
a Virginia. Well, should I keep going?
He is
You only can
9
say
and
one more.
22 against teams that are ranked in the top 10. I think.
He's gonna beat Jimbo Fisher today.
Or maybe
He
top
couldn't beat
25.
Jimbo
No, top
Fisher
20,
when he
top
was
10.
at Florida State.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, Mac's got a losing record against good teams.
He's gonna win tonight. He's gonna win tonight.
This is one of the few games that you can look at in a bowl game where both head coaches have a national championship on their finger. Remember that.
Yep.
It is one game, and don't get me wrong, I'm pulling for the ACC, but I don't like it when players do what they're doing now.
Yeah,
well, it's because they got a chance.
And I
to
understand it's their career, it's not mine. I'm with that 100%. But just to bail out saying, okay, I've led you this far and you're on your own.
How much is the coach making?
I don't care about all that.
He's getting a bonus.
It's the same thing as when my parents grew me up and say, if you start something, you finish it. That's not what we're doing nowadays.
And Terry, I understand your look at it.
Their scholarships and stuff don't cover the bowl game.
When you start something, you finish
whether they go to the bowl game or not.
When we were kids, the coaches didn't make no $10 million, and we're out here for free.
I mean,
all right. So I'm gonna go over some of the recruiting real quick. We went a little long on that one.
If I'm not mistaken, North Carolina's got like the 17th recruiting.
Not
class
recruiting,
next
but
year.
the draft status for some of our
draft.
locals and guys around here. Sage Surratt is listed at 107 overall. Do the math on that. That's
What's that,
somewhere
fourth?
third, fourth round.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
he's
mid draft pick.
He's the number 17 overall wide receiver. This is according to NFL and CBS draft.
Yeah, I
prospect
think he'll
rankings.
go up.
Now,
No,
let
he
me
might.
go over to. Do they
From the
have
combine and all that, I think he'll go up.
Okay, so linebacker Chaz though is ranked higher in linebackers now.
I agree.
He is 7th overall in linebackers right now, 80th overall. So looking at second to third round pick, depending on him. I think once they get him, I think once coaches whatever Chaz position he was at, Terry, that once they meet him and have him in a room, look at this athlete. He's extremely smart. He's extremely nice.
There you go.
He's gonna win over whoever it is, and someone's gonna pick him in the second round.
Both of them.
Sage probably will be too.
Yes,
There's a
both of
good
them
chance for that.
guys are very smart.
Is Sage, Hunter, I'm looking at his size and stuff. He's up here in the
Sage is about 6'4".
Yes, he's DJ Metcalf.
Yeah.
The difference between him and of course Metcalf is Metcalf at that size was running like a 4.4.
He's 6'3", 215.
How
is
thick
what
he
he's
is.
listed.
Metcalf is really
for as big as DK Metcalf is, he
I bet
can move.
Metcalf don't have 2% fat on that dude.
When
you don't realize how big he is till he's standing next to those DBs.
Yeah.
When you watch Sage play, and this is not a knock on him, but he's not the fastest of wide receivers. So what
Great
he could
hands.
be is a possession receiver.
Okay,
which is
you call it
perfectly
that.
fine.
You know what I see when I see him play? I know this is way leapy. I'm just saying style kind of reminds me. Is Larry Fitzgerald?
I
type.
literally was just thinking Larry Fitzgerald. in the back of my mind.
Is he's not going? You're right. He's not going to run just a straight deep ball, especially on NFL corners. But what he's going to do is work the middle of the field against these zone defenses and catch everything thrown his way.
Hopkins, same
Right.
way.
To
that type of
me,
player.
I understand why he opted out on the season. Wake Forest really, we can all agree. I know they made a bowl game, but they weren't playing for something this year.
Look-
I understand why he did, but I think he would have benefited
I
from playing
agree.
this season.
I agree.
Draft
he might have
I agree.
benefited, but what did he do? He opted out at the very start.
Yes.
I
Just
have
like
no trouble
Caleb
with that.
Farley. Just like Caleb
None.
Farley did.
All right, I'm glad you brought up Caleb. Caleb is the number 1 ranked overall cornerback, guys, from Maiden, North Carolina. Maiden Blue Devils. Terry, maybe we need to contact somebody and get an interview with him as well. And but folks, I saw a mock draft yesterday, had him at 4th.
Wow.
This
That's great for
This
the
has
area.
him ranked 11th overall.
Mhm.
But a mock draft yesterday, Caleb Farley overall had him at 4th behind 2 quarterbacks and I think a tackle.
Listen, I'm telling you.
4th overall from a local kid, guys. That is
cannot-
the story of the year around here, and we're not hearing anything around it right
You
now.
cannot
It's
teach
crazy.
that speed he's got.
No,
You cannot teach
and,
it.
And what did we just say about Sage? That he's not going to blow by anybody,
Mhm.
right? So this is the one thing I'll ever remember. And Terry sat in the studio, watched the game that we did. They put Sage at spying Caleb Farley when Caleb was playing quarterback at Maiden in that game. And Terry, they were just running quarterback sweeps and beating Sage to the corner. Sage is an NFL wide receiver prospect, 3rd round, and he was getting beat to the corner spying Caleb Farley. So when you say, hey, he can't beat that speed, we've seen it.
Oh, I know.
We've seen it in person and on the computer.
It's
Live.
just, oof. I remember watching Caleb Farley duke it out with Titus, whatever his last name was, that played at West Caldwell that year.
Mhm.
And
Quarterback.
and he was
Wasn't it Titus McDowell? Titus
was a hell of an athlete too for West Caldwell. Not a soul on West Caldwell could touch what Caleb Farley had for him. Congratulations, because that's big time.
You
all
run
right?
a quarterback sweep and just beat everybody to the
And
corner.
I'm not
every
just talking
time.
about what you did in high
Golly.
school. And I will say this: when watching him at Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley, I never thought he would be a top 5 possible draft
Right,
pick.
right.
But You
That's
know
awesome.
what? I'm telling you, the way today's
Browns.
NFL's played,
that we don't have that high pick.
Think about it. The way today's NFL's played, if you got a Tyreek Hill lined up over here, why would you not want a Caleb Farley that runs that fast?
If you're the Panthers, you sitting on Caleb Farley waiting to pounce.
What, at 4?
No,
What
they're
are
going to
they
be
now?
close to they're going to be 7 to 11 range.
Well, I'll say what that mock draft
If he
might be
drops back
very
to him.
generous. Just depends on how everybody
If
else
he drops
plays
back
out.
to him, is there any way they pass him by?
Well, you got to look at their corner situation and say if they don't have anything better and speed wise, then no. But you can't miss out on that because I think that might be the only thing that they're really lacking. D is more defense.
Here's the people he's in front of: Patrick Surtain II and Asante Samuel Jr. Those guys got some pretty good names there.
Yeah.
Their dads played in the league, and that's who Caleb Farley is ahead.
But here we are again. Caleb Farley, what did he do? Opted out at the start.
He's 6'2", 207. Terry, the only other person I've seen run the quarterback position, not Norris, the Barry Sanders type zigzag he ran. But I'm talking about the inline speed is Rico Dowdle up at AC Reynolds. Remember, he put 28, 35, or 35 points on the Shelby defense all by himself running the same type of thing with Caleb did. I mean, they didn't even have to pass it. They just ran it. He ended up playing running back in South Carolina, or still does. I don't know where he's
And listen, I will say
I
this
guess
too.
I can check on that.
I felt like Carolina. I wouldn't put them past it to take Caleb Farley because local kid. When they took Will Greer that year, what was it, 3rd or 4th round, just for him to be a backup, local kid, Davidson product. So, well, not Davidson College, Davidson Day product. Yeah. It wouldn't be surprised me, and I know people say, well, you can't just play into the local kids. I'm like, well, you can if they're talented. That's why even if Chaz is sitting there in the 2nd round, I mean, you had Luke Kuechly retire. Shaq Thompson really the guy. Why would you not grab Chaz Surratt out of North Carolina at the linebacker position?
The GMs don't think that way.
I know they don't think that way, but at the same time, you'll have this whole area. Maiden will be Carolina. The Panthers.
I'm
blue.
say
they're going to make their money.
Chaz
anyway,
Surratt is. I mean, don't only Luke Kuechly was at Carolina and he was an elite player. Chaz Surratt will be the same type of player. He is just as smart, if not smarter, than Luke Kuechly, and he's going to fill a position there for somebody in the NFL. I don't know when he's going to get picked, but he is going to end up being a starter, and you're not going to be able to take him out.
It's tough for me to say that now.
It's hard for me to say he's smarter than Luke Kuechly because when you watch Luke Kuechly play,
it's tough for me to say that, and it's
smart,
mostly because
Luke
Kuechly,
he was recruited by the Ivy League.
Luke Kuechly, for the little time that I know it was only 8 seasons, 9 years he did play. He's still fringe borderline Hall of Famer for what he did.
He was really. I mean, you watch him play on someplace like, how did Luke Kuechly know where to go?
He
just knew what the other team was going
to do. I think it helps
he
play quarterback.
I agree with Terry exactly, and you're 100% right on the quarterback thing. He's going to get in those meeting rooms with NFL coaches, and they're going to have they're going to have the things read out. I think he's going to set on it. Again, his biggest thing, and you've seen it this year, is tackling. I mean, you've got to be able to tackle. You can be in the right space all you want and bump into these guys. If you're not tackling them,
this is a team that needs a middle linebacker. The Cleveland Browns.
Well,
he looked good in the
Well, I'll say this, if for anything for Chaz, and I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and I said this: it's gonna be easy for quarterbacks now in college to get drafted because of what Buffalo did with Josh Allen. He had the size, he had the arm strength, and he had the athleticism. And teams are going to see if he has those 3 intangibles, we can work on the accuracy, we can work on the mental game. Chaz, it's almost the same thing for him. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, and he's got the smarts. If all we have to do is teach the boy how to tackle, we can do that. We can take a chance on that.
And I must say it here, and
don't call him a boy.
Yeah, Mom and Dad,
he's way bigger than you, Hunter.
We sit back. And
he's also younger than me. But
Mom and Dad, I know we always sit back, and I question a lot of things. I questioned back when Chaz was going to go to Duke, and then he chose to go to Carolina. I think it ended up being the best thing for him. Of what's going to happen, Sage, we questioned about him being at East Lincoln, and all of a sudden he's at Lincoln. We questioned all of that. But, when it all funds, congratulations to Mom and Dad, because you are getting ready to have 2 guys who are going into the NFL
Same
at the
draft
same time.
That's awesome.
You cannot ask for no more than that.
Right.
That's awesome.
And
I
then,
wish them the best
and then,
of luck.
and then the fact they played against Caleb just how many times?
Yeah.
Think about it. If they get drafted in the same division, they could just play each other again. I want you to think about that. Sage gets drafted by a team that's in the same division as a team that drafts Caleb.
Or maybe they get on the same team.
Well,
that's a possibility.
Well, I was just talking about it.
Maybe the Cowboys get Caleb Farley.
There's the possibility, Terry.
Gotta lose this weekend.
I'm glad you brought that up, Terry. Before we go to break, here's 2 mock drafts on CBS. They've got Lawrence and Zach Wilson 1 and 2. Miami picking an offensive lineman or Jamar Chase, LSU. Caleb Farley going 4 to the Falcons in one of them, going to 11 to the Cowboys in the other one. So there's your Caleb Farley looks.
Caleb Farley with a star on his
For the
helmet.
Panthers, For the Panthers, it's got Rashawn Slater of Northwestern,
Everybody
outside
wants to have a
linebacker,
star.
and Justin Fields to the Panthers at 9 is another one. Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain, Terry, is who they got. Cowboys going corners across the board on these. And then for the Browns, Tom, you mentioned defense. They got a safety and a D-line. Safety from Oregon, D lineman from Miami. Your thoughts on this, or there's a Ohio State offensive lineman that's going around in that.
I'm
range.
always
Wyatt Davis.
D-line, all O-line, especially if you're picking in the middle.
All right,
get you a D-line.
When we come back, we're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk whether the Panthers should look quarterback in this draft. Who's going to look at what quarterbacks in the draft? Will anyone think about Fields at 1 instead of Lawrence? What about Zach Wilson, where he'll go? We're going to talk about all that. Hey, y'all say no, but you pass up on the wrong one. He just beat him by 21 points.
Zach Wilson just got passed up by Fields last night.
Right.
I'll say that.
Well, Fields just beat Trevor Lawrence by 21 points, Tom.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a minute on KDCBroadcasting.com.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
Get ready for next Christmas. That's right, next year. Yeah, next Christmas with a stop at McGinnis Furniture in downtown Cherryville. Now for a limited time, you can take 50% off all items in their Christmas shop. That's right, 50% off all items in the Christmas shop. Save on holiday decorations and accessories for your home. While there, check out their huge selection of beautiful furniture. That's McGinnis Furniture, 303 East Main Street, downtown Cherryville. Online at McGinnisFurniture.com. It's time to experience the slingshot effect at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Right now, you can drive away in a new 2020 Slingshot for 0% financing for 6 months. Full Throttle Power Sports is your dealer for Yamaha, Polaris, and CF Motos, plus pre-owned vehicles and even trailers. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, chances are they can help at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Get your candy, man, at LDP Farms in Bellwood. You'll find all of your old-fashioned favorites, including pecan logs, Yoo-Hoo, Mary Jane's, peppermint balls, Tootsie Rolls, Honey, and more. Plus, you'll find a big selection of Amish goods, along with livestock feed and new all-natural feed. And try the new line of seafood by Willie. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 704-898-7312 for LDP Farms, Highway 18 North in Bellwood.
Check out the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all-you-can-eat specials from the Captain's Cap Family Fish House. On Tuesdays, it's all-you-can-eat baby fried flounder for $10.99. On Wednesday, all-you-can-eat calabash shrimp for $10.99. And on Thursday, it's all-you-can-eat whitefish for $10.99. And Sundays is your choice of all-you-can-eat calabash shrimp or perch for only $10.99. And the Captain's Cap is now hiring. The Captain's Cap Family Fish House, 3140 Linwood Road, Gastonia, 670 Park Street in Belmont, and 1218 Highway 16 Business in Denver. Voted again Best Family Fish House, Best Salad Bar, and Best Tea. The Captain's Cap Family Fish House.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that matter to their employees, customers, and neighbors. Over the years, United Bank has grown in size, but their community focus has not changed. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. United Bank, member FDIC.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with the guys.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I will say I did not realize that they won a national championship.
Yeah, it was 80. I remember because it was after. You would think it was when Jim McMahon
Were they
was
co-champions?
No, they were 13-0. They beat. Geez, I just read it. They beat.
Yes, they were
Pittsburgh at number 3.
Were they co-champions?
And then they beat.
I thought they were.
They beat Michigan in the Holiday Bowl.
No, they were co-champions.
They were 4 champions that year.
Were they?
Yes.
Who else was champion?
Florida, Nebraska, and Washington.
All right. Well, anyway,
I'm looking at it.
You know,
they used to vote like that.
You know who should be your champion in 2021? Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge, because they sponsor our show. You can see them at 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. And Friendship Nissan at 156 Oak Street Extension, Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Thank you for sponsoring the show, despite what people say on the show. Terry?
Come on, Tom. I wanted to do those two numbers, 828-919-3001 and 828-245-1661.
Got to make him feel special.
Friendship. That's right. I at least like to say at least one.
And because he really wants that gladiator.
So I think BYU is the officially number 1 rated, however that goes. They're the one with the bold letters of the 4, and they have the AP vote. So they were the AP champion in '84. I guess that's the best I can do.
Come on now,
It was a good year for me.
Yeah. Back then, you know, they was a few years. I mean, I think Georgia Tech won one year, and they was co-champion.
Georgia Tech.
1990.
Now, Georgia Tech, Colorado was an actual split.
That's what I thought.
With Colorado in '90, Miami and Washington also won some votes.
So we complain about what we got now. Would you rather have it then?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I want to keep it moving forward.
4 national
We're not
champions.
going back. We're not going back.
Progress.
Progress.
Yeah.
The winner of every conference
progress.
claimed themselves the national championship.
I don't blame them.
They did.
Central Florida did it a few years ago.
So, I would say '93 might have been my favorite sports year as a kid. Excuse me, growing up. Tar Heels won the championship. Cowboys won the championship. Michael Jordan won the championship. I mean, it was just a smooth ride there in '93.
I guess as you sit back and we realize what's really happened, we really going to have a true national champion. Because San Jose State got beat, Cincinnati got beat, Coastal Carolina got beat. There's only 2 other ones, and both of them will be playing for the national title.
No
are unbeaten.
are left.
No, that's it. There was 5.
Well, in '93 we had 4 national champions: Auburn, Florida State, Nebraska, and Notre Dame. So Florida State got the bold with the AP at 12-1. Bobby Bowden, Terry Bowden went 11-0 at Auburn. Tom Osborne 11-1 in Nebraska, and Notre
That's
Dame.
the year Auburn.
Lou Holtz 11-1.
Auburn was on probation or something that year and couldn't play.
They won whatever the NCF national championship is.
Let's bring that back. There's your group of 5.
I'll tell you, what a dumb sport. See, that's me when I'm growing up. I'm looking at stuff like that. Like, why would I watch this? I don't know who won. We're voting on Monday, so who the champion is. That's just silly. All right, NFL, guys. NFL weekend, week 17. A lot of things going on. We've got tanking. We've got trying to make the playoffs. We've got resting.
Terry.
I don't know what Terry's doing.
Knocking on that door.
Who is?
That's what we said last week, remember?
So
Gonna open up that door.
Right now, here's your draft order. Jacksonville 1, Jets 2, Miami with the 3rd pick from Houston.
Yeah. Good pick.
Atlanta 4, Cincinnati 5, Philly 6, Detroit 7, Giants 8, Panthers at 9, Terry's Cowboys are 11, Browns right now picking 22nd if they win and move on into the playoffs.
Get ready to pick 18th.
It would be 18th probably.
Got the Mason Rudolph fan club over here.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph fan club is in the house today. I got a couple questions, guys, and I saw this being discussed yesterday. Miami's sitting at 3. Justin Fields, Zach Wilson.
Why would you take
because they're saying that they're obviously not sold on Tua, and he's not blowing anybody away. He doesn't have elite arm, elite speed, elite anything.
Would it not be perfect?
Man, just wasted.
Terry,
blonde-haired kid
Terry,
in
Arizona did it.
Terry, real quick.
Yeah.
Talk about the Dallas Cowboys, 89, 88, and 89, and 1990.
Rosen was just signed off somebody's practice squad. Can't believe that.
I know.
Cowboys drafted quarterbacks in back-to-back first rounds. Troy Aikman and Steve Walsh. End up with Aikman, of course, in Super Bowls. But if you're sitting there in Miami, you know, Washington's already threw away their first-round pick in Dwayne Haskins. I'm not saying that, you know, Tua is a throwaway yet or now. What I'm saying is, and what the experts are saying, is that if you're sitting at 3, if you're Miami, you either move back and get a bunch of draft picks and fill this in because somebody's going to want that quarterback, or maybe, you know, buy Fitzpatrick and now you bring in one of these other guys.
Is Tua got a winning record since he's come in? Has a losing record?
Tua,
I'll find out.
3-2, 2-3.
Tua has a winning record, but Fitzpatrick in those wins has been called in for relief.
Win. Yeah,
he's done that in 2 of them. So, Tua is in a.
Tua is 6-2.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation because if you technically if you look at the numbers
2 picks.
Fitzpatrick's got better numbers on the year than Tua does.
What do you think you can get for Tua? If you draft Fields, you're going to deal Tua. What are you going to get for him?
They're saying make him compete. They're not. I mean, you know, they're not even.
You could make him compete.
Just leave him there and keep him. But like, who's going to get? I don't think enough teams have needs as far as or opening at quarterback as we think.
It works better though. When you talk about the competing, I think it works better with young guy, old guy. If you got 2 young guys, that's what you got in Philadelphia. It's not going to work.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's not going to work. So
because they don't want to play together.
If you got young guy, old guy, even when Fitzpatrick was on the bench, he would still helping. Say, "Hey, I'm going to help because I'm the old guy. I'm mature."
Well, they
when
can
you got
still
2 guys
do
that are still got their ego going too much, I don't think
you can still do that and have a 3-man quarterback room, and you could keep Fitzpatrick on. Because think about it, what are you losing though if you do draft Justin Fields? You're not paying either one of them. They're both Tua and Justin Fields still both on rookie contracts.
That's what you got.
Yeah, because one of them wants to be the starter while the other one has to sit over. I'm like Tom. When Fitzpatrick comes in and takes over for Tua's still with him. And even vice versa,
it's not
Ryan is still with him.
It's not going to be the same with Fields and Tua.
But think about it. So say Tua really isn't working out, and you have Justin Fields sitting there in the waiting, and Justin Fields come in and plays great. You don't think anybody out here that might have a need for quarterback wouldn't just say, "I'll trade you for Tua"?
Yeah, maybe a second or third,
a second
or third.
That's what I'm saying. You still get value out of it. Now, the most
I
value.
think your problem runs into with Ryan Fitzpatrick being there. Tua knows, hey, this guy's only going to come in if something goes wrong or the coach makes a switch, and then they're going to replace each other. But they stay together.
Yeah. It's not going to be that way.
If you get 2 young guys out there, both of them want to start.
Yeah.
Well, good. Then that would be a healthy quarterback competition. They're
Not
both
really.
trying to
That
outdo
does
the
not-
other.
There is a such thing as destructive competition.
Fitzpatrick wants to start too.
There's such thing as healthy and there's destructive.
Well,
that's what's wrong with Philadelphia right now.
I don't see that being destructive. I don't see that being destructive.
Because Carson Wentz still says today that he ought to be the starter.
We're talking about 2 guys in their early 20s competing on a pro position. That's going to be toxic. There's no way.
What are you talking about? That's every other man on the roster.
No. Not for the same position as quarterback, not as marquee
Andy
as
Dalton
quarterback.
knew when he come to Dallas, he was the backup. He knew that, and he was okay with that.
Because they're mature.
Yep.
They're students of the game. They're always going to
I
prepare.
still want to be part of the game.
It's different.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Brian Flores is going to be able to get a good look at it this weekend because Tua goes up against Josh Allen. And I don't care how much Josh Allen plays in this game, whether they decide to rest him in the second half. Brian Flores is going to look across the field and see what Josh Allen does and says, Colin made this point, and I said, you know what? I agree with it because it's the truth. Like Kevin said, what is Tua elite at right now? And he doesn't have elite size. It's compared to Drew Brees in size, but is he Drew Brees? Probably not. He doesn't have the biggest arm. No. Is he super athletic? No. Like Kyler Murray's short, but he's super athletic and can outrun everybody. So Brian Flores is going to sit here and watch this game and say, Josh Allen has elite size, elite arm, elite athleticism, and I have to face him 2 times a year and hope Tua just can outdo him.
I don't know if he has elite athleticism. He's athletic. I don't know if he's elite. You're talking elite athleticism.
Does he not lead the league this year in rushing touchdowns for a quarterback?
Yeah, but
Who's that?
Josh Allen.
I thought Cam is Josh ahead of him?
I mean, Josh has got some too.
But what I'm saying is he's an elite passer. He does have the big arm. He can move well.
Well,
now,
Tom,
I'm not going to take that from him. Now
he's
good, but a couple years ago they're about to give up on that kid too. Now look where he is.
Tom, I'm just going to say though, regardless, out of all those things, and you want to take athleticism away, that's fine. But
I'm not taking it away.
No, I'm just elite wise.
Elite. There you go. There you go.
Still, which does Tua beat him in?
Well, he probably does. You're probably right. I'm not saying that he's not. But he's had a couple more years, right? He's had a couple more years.
No, he has, and that's coaching.
Right.
But they see him every day in practice too, and sure he goes out there and gets the start, but the coach has to see something for him to pull him. How many people do we see if you're winning, you pull the quarterback?
We've seen Nick Saban do it in championship game.
Yeah.
Nick Saban did that with Jalen Hurts for Tua, and now Tua has been pulled twice in games for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I think the injuries might be catching up with him too. He's been hurt a lot.
Well, maybe his arm isn't as good as Fitzpatrick to force it down the field late in games.
It would be one of them situations like if me and Hunter were competing at my age now, I would be like, I'd look at Hunter and go, yeah, no problem. He's quicker. He's faster. Probably an arm a whole lot better than mine.
Definitely.
I'm going to set over here. Well, now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe so, maybe not. But I would set over here, yeah. But I would also know I would be helping him in every way I could. But if the coach come up and says, you're going to have to go in and get him, I would be the one to also comfort him when everything was over with, saying, look, man, that's just one time I had to come in for you. You stay strong. You're still going to be the guy because I'm not going to be here long, so don't give up.
If I'm Miami, I field calls for the third pick at first. I evaluate how Tua's done on the season, but it will not surprise me because, like I said to Tom a second ago, we saw Arizona do it. They drafted Josh Rosen the year before, first-round pick like 7 or 10, where he was a top 10 pick. And they move off to the next year because they had the first pick and took Kyler Murray.
If I have the guy I even think's going to be my guy, just draft some linemen. You know what? Look at Cleveland. They built the offensive line, and look at Baker Mayfield's numbers go. You got to have an offensive line. You got to have an offensive line.
And if you don't think so, and this is where I'll go along with you, what you just got through saying, I'm on your side, Tom, right now.
Oh, that's a miracle.
Okay. But you talk about this offensive line.
Comforting in it.
It is comforting.
Because people sit back and they think about the Dallas Cowboys right now. All of a sudden, Dallas is still in this thing. Why? Because for the last 5 games, Dallas has had the same offensive linemen come out every week. It's the same 5 guys, and all of a sudden they've won 3 games in a row. Yeah. What did Elliott do this past week? Run for over 100 yards. He hasn't done that in forever, but everything's working together because none of them guys are hurt, and that's what makes the whole line. That's what makes your quarterback. That's what makes your running backs. That makes everything.
And everybody talking about Cleveland. Oh, Baker Mayfield fumble. Hey, Baker Mayfield. They had 3 of their offensive linemen were down.
So
I mean, if you put
you got to have those.
You got to have an offensive line.
Zeke went from top runner in the league with the best line to mediocre with no line. And I mean no line is a really bad line. Terry also helped you play the Bengals, 49ers, and Eagles the last 3 weeks, not the hierarchy of the NFL. Real quick on the Steve Walsh story, that was actually the same year. They drafted Troy Aikman, number 1. Then
I remember that.
Then in the supplemental draft,
right, I remember that.
They took Walsh. And what that turned into is the next year, you had to give up next year's equivalent pick. So if in your first round next year. Well, that year, Aikman broke his finger. Aikman didn't win a game. They went 1-15, beat your Redskins 13-3. Steve Walsh won the game. He's the one that actually won the 1-15 game. But that would have been, guys, the number 1 pick in the draft. The number 1 pick that year, here's the picks that year in the 1990 draft. Jeff George, the number 1 pick. So instead of having Steve Walsh, they could have had Aikman and Jeff George if they really wanted to. But he went to the Colts. Blair Thomas was second. Now, if they had the number 1 pick, Terry, they probably would have went that,
probably.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who went in the 17th in that draft of the Cowboys? Emmitt Smith. So, folks, picking your second quarterback in the 2 first-round quarterbacks, basically, in one draft, turned in you losing a draft pick, the number 1 pick in the NFL, but instead of having Blair Thomas, you end up moving back to 17 and you traded with Pittsburgh to get the 17th pick up to get Emmitt Smith. So what a wild ride of coincidence.
You just never know.
To end up with the number one running back in NFL history in touchdowns, yards, 3 Super Bowls with Emmitt Smith, all because you decided to take a second quarterback in that round, and he's the one that won that one game. Aitman went over, and then now you end up picking Emmitt Smith instead of Blair Thomas. Here's some other good names, though, that they could have picked it too. Cortez Kennedy, Junior Seau, the Detroit Lions. Didn't Andre Ware win the Heisman?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Didn't they have him and Pete
with
too?
Houston? Yeah,
two Heisman winners on the same team.
The run and shoot with Houston.
James Francis, linebacker. So trying to think of somebody. Lamar Lathan went that draft in front of Emmitt. Then after Emmitt, Tony Bennett, Eric Green, tight end, Rodney Hampton, running back. So really nothing much there in that. So Terry.
Well, it's one of them things in the NFL. You're looking for opportunity. And when you step back and you think of how late Tom Brady went, it took Drew Bledsoe to get hurt for Tom to take his spot, and then Drew Bledsoe was done because he never got back in.
Speaking of Bledsoe and that, what about Belichick without Brady? It's not. He doesn't have a good record without Brady. Brady's Hunter. He's moved down to Tampa. They're in the playoffs. They've clinched. They don't even have to play this week, and. Belichick is throwing phones because the funniest one I saw was a joke we can't say on the radio, a D's joke.
I've seen it. Yeah, and I laughed. Dude, I laughed.
I still think it's one of those things for Belichick though, because it took them forever to say I'm going to go get Cam. Cam stayed out there, and we kept talking about that weekend. Nobody wanted him, so Belichick says, "Okay, he's the best I can get out there." He went and got him. And then he saw Cam blow games at the very end when he had opportunities to win.
I think it's already been reported that Cam's
he's
returning.
done. Yeah,
he's not returning to New England next year.
Oh, really? It's already been announced.
I don't know if it's been announced, but it's.
He's pretty sure
it's
not.
rumored.
Yeah.
It's rumored.
He's pretty
and
sure
I think I saw something scroll along the bottom. It was like reports are they probably will not be returning.
I think Cam would work good in a situation as far as, let's say, how about Tennessee? Or the starter,
a backup.
He's ingrained, but if Ryan Tannehill gets hurt, having him as a backup is not a bad idea. But also, Terry, what about running the option at the goal line with Cam Newton and Derrick Henry? That's nothing the DBs and anybody will have anything to do with.
You can do that, but Cam cannot have the money that he's going to want.
Well, right. You give
There's
him
where the
1
big
year,
deal's
$5,
gonna come
$10 million. That ain't that.
Yeah, we're going to be able to do one of them Andy Dalton deals. Hey, I'm going to give you $3 million if you make the playoffs. Like Dalton sitting there right now going, if I win Sunday and Washington loses, I get an extra $1 million.
Right.
Already. That's already been thrown out there.
This is what the problem is.
What about Cam going somewhere, like that in a backup role like Pittsburgh to run near the goal line?
That's the problem,
or Kansas City. How about them putting him in?
I don't think he goes for a backup role.
Well, that's
and that's because you should. I mean, when he answered the question, when they asked him about retirement, he said, "I don't want to go out this way." So you mean to tell me he's wanting to go out a backup? Probably not.
If he wants to stay in the NFL, he might have to.
Why didn't he just quit and become an analyst? They would love him on TV.
They would. He would get paid $10 million.
They would love him. They would love him on TV. He would.
They
be
make
great
pretty
for
good
it.
money.
Well, if that's the case, though, what's New England picking? If they wherever their draft spot is,
right now at 14.
14. You could take a shot. You could take a shot at Zach Wilson. You could take a shot at Justin Fields if he drops low enough.
I think the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3 in this draft.
Well, then why would they not trade with Miami to get to that third spot?
And I'm saying somebody might, and that's what I was going to get at next. Do the Carolina Panthers look to get up to one of those 3 spots? They're sitting at 9 because here's why: at 4 is Atlanta, 5 Cincinnati, 6 Philadelphia, 2 quarterbacks. Detroit, Matt Stafford. Giants with Daniel Jones. Carolina's at 9, and then Denver at 10. If they can't wait, because Denver might get a quarterback, they can't wait for Denver to pick if they want a quarterback. So does Carolina move up to maybe one of those top 3 spots? Maybe Miami and get the third of those guys, whoever they pick, or Jacksonville and the Jets, 1 and 2.
I think this is what might happen. I think the Jets ride with Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Something tells me I think they ride with Sam Darnold.
Trade back.
Yeah,
trade
and
back.
They might trade back.
So
and I don't think
Carolina's
going to go up
for
there.
business. You don't think so?
No, the reason
brand
being,
new owner just fired his GM.
Yeah,
looking to make a
so.
splash.
That's why you went and
He's
got
a hedge
Teddy
fund
Bridgewater.
manager.
And if you go back and look at the games Carolina's been in, there's been a lot of close games that they could have won that they lost. So I don't think they go anywhere.
Could you imagine Trevor Lawrence in Carolina, though? Oh, my God.
Jacksonville would be stupid if they traded that pick.
Could you imagine Trevor Lawrence?
Well, let's how about, Terry, if one of them fall, if you're sitting there at Carolina right now, you guys run the Panthers, and you got Caleb Farley or Justin Fields to pick at 9, what are you doing?
If he falls back, then
you can take Fields at 9.
Yeah, because you just went and got a bunch of defensive guys last year. Every pick you had was defense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you might go get him if he's there.
If either one of them follow him or Wilson, if they follow, do you get them?
Yeah, I say if they fall there.
Okay. So, but you don't want to go anywhere.
No, I'm not going up to get him. Okay. I'm not going to do that.
This is what.
Well, it depends on how much you have to give up to go up.
Like,
how much? What do you want to go up? You got to consider.
Yeah,
that.
but if you go up, what are you telling Terry Bridgewater right then? Teddy Bridgewater, you're telling him you're not good enough.
If you don't go anywhere anyway, he knows his job.
That's what I'm saying.
He knows this is the NFL. He's still got 2 years left on his contract.
I mean,
he's playing for it this year anyway.
This is a business. They know. Yeah. They know. Listen, Teddy Bridgewater realizes his role. They didn't give him more than just 3 years for a reason. Okay, they know he's here. I hate to put it this way. He's playing a Ryan Fitzpatrick role right now. He's a stopgap. I mean, sure, we know Teddy can play. But I was saying this whenever Cam was still looking for a job. There are guys coming out ready that'll be better than them in college. Every year they're rolling them out. That's why these quarterback jobs are getting so scarce. If guys aren't just retiring like Breeze, Brady, they're playing almost till they're in their 40s. Rodgers is in his late 30s. Big Ben is in his late 30s. If they're not retiring, the teams that need quarterbacks, they're just getting them out of the draft. So guys that are without a job, it's going to be tough for me to look and say, Cam, you're like 31, 32. You've had some injury issues. I know what you were, but we got this kid coming out of college that's going to be fresh, and he can learn my system and is going to be here for a while.
Why would you
and
do
we
that
don't, and we don't have to pay him a lot of money. He's on a rookie contract for his first 4 years. So it's going to be hard for Carolina, and especially something that Kevin harped on. It's going to be a new GM. And we do know this is a new owner in year 2. And he wants a splash. He wants people to come to the games when they can come back.
You talk about the issues you have, and I just want to get this in real quick. If Roethlisberger comes back to Pittsburgh, it's going to cost him $41 million. So you're talking about, hey, if we can kind of get him to move on, you free up a lot of money.
Atlanta has got a big cap hit next year for Matt Ryan too, and they're sitting there with a top 5 pick. Yeah. And this is what I wanted to get at just real quick, too.
I would have already been done with Matt Ryan.
So Trevor Lawrence is going to end up in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
As great as he's going to be, do you think he's going to change this Jacksonville franchise? Because personally, I don't think so. I think he'll have great numbers every year. But to me, I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to be in the Deshaun Watson situation where the organization is what's going to keep you, is what's going to hold you back.
I would pick no team with a quarterback with long blonde hair. And I'll pick no team with a quarterback with a Fu Manchu. And Jacksonville's going to have both of them on the same roster.
Anyway, besides that, you know who really hurt themselves, though? The Jets, because the Jets...
I'm not just beating by 21 points.
Quiet. That if the Jets still have the number 1 pick and they get Lawrence, but they've got a bunch of other picks.
Mm-hmm.
They could have... I mean, you could have had Lawrence and then go get you a lineman, go get you some D-line, go get you some O-line. That would have worked out better. They talked about him not wanting to go to the Jets. It would have worked out great if he could have gone to the Jets. But now I think the Jets...
And even the
Sam
Jets...
Darnold,
I think the Jets, too. I mean, if you move off Sam Darnold, move off Adam Gase, franchise-wise would be a better situation than what Jacksonville has been known for.
I'd like to be the GM.
The thing that bothers me about these NFL teams, we keep talking about this, the only time Jacksonville was any good was when they had a defense.
Top 5 defense.
That's what I'm talking
Saxonville.
about. It wasn't no offensive
Blake Bortles
guys.
was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
He's not even in the league now, right?
Rams are trying to sign him because
Didn't Mark
golf's
Brunell
out.
make 2 AFC championship games?
Who?
Mark Brunell.
Yes, I know Mark Brunell. I know. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay.
You can't don't make a sarcastic remark about his intelligence, even though he does it about everybody else. But if you do it to him, where you gonna get upset?
All right, guys. So we're running out of time. We're gonna do picks, but looking at my power rankings here, I wanted to point something out we did Monday. That the pocket passers are ruling the league this year. Hunter hates his old guys. But when you go through and look at it, Mahomes can sling it. Yes, he can run, but he's not a run first. Aaron Rodgers second, Big Ben third, Drew Brees fourth. You got Josh Allen with the cannon arm. He can run. He is a good athlete. Russell Wilson won it throwing it in the Super Bowl. Then you got Baker. Then you got Ryan Tannehill, Tom Brady, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson. And then Tua is there, but they bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick if they want to win the game. The Trubisky brothers down there in Chicago, and then Alex Smith in Washington. Phillip Rivers on the outside looking in. Kyler Murray's on the outside looking in. Cam's already been eliminated. He's a runner. Deshaun Watson's already been eliminated. It's just not. It's
Watson's
these guys,
not run first, though. That's not fair to say about Watson. He's not run first.
Well,
that's not fair.
Well,
well, what? Well,
everybody
what?
at this table did he win a playoff game?
Who?
He won one.
He won one.
Everybody at this
Beat the
table has
Bills.
as many as Lamar Jackson does. Now, I do got a question for Hunter.
Well, you can't even go by that poll.
Okay, yeah, Terry.
Everybody from the NFC East is out.
Right. You have no chance of winning the Super Bowl. According
Somebody's
to,
gonna make it.
According, this is a my opinion poll. This is my college football poll. All right, Hunter. You own Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield jerseys. True or false?
This is true.
True. Which one is better?
Josh Allen.
Now, see how quick he said that, Tom.
I see.
Now, watch this. Whose jersey did you buy first?
I didn't buy this jersey. My mother bought this jersey for me for Christmas.
It's getting
it was
long
Baker
answer.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
Which jersey did you have first, Hunter?
It was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. All right. Just wanted to clear up.
Did I or did I not that draft say I would take Josh Allen #1 overall?
You might have, but I'm just saying you had Baker Mayfield jersey first.
And
it's just the that's just
I
all
know
I'm saying.
guys.
Just
I
the
know
point.
guys that got an Odell Beckham jersey with the Giants and got an Amari Cooper jersey with the Raiders. Like, I mean,
All right,
it's
Tommy.
okay to be fans of players.
Dolphins at Bills. Bills favored by 3. 39 degrees in Orchard Park.
I would not pick this game.
It's my pick.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo.
Make sure we get
They can't even bring in Fitzmagic
Nope, out with COVID
to bail him out.
Oh, that's not good news.
But they
Is
were
Allen playing?
See, that's why I would have
thought
said
I
I
saw he
wouldn't have
was-
picked this game because even if Josh Allen plays for a little bit and they just decide to sit him, Matt Barkley comes in and then I'm like, dude, you can't play. No, you can't play at all. I've seen Matt Barkley play. He's horrible.
Horrible.
But it is. But I will say this: it is Tua up in Buffalo in January.
And
I
he's
don't-
Hawaiian, so you know
yeah,
he's not gonna
I
like
don't
that.
know if he's gonna like that. I don't know, but I would not if I was a better.
Are you
I
saying
would not
Frank
touch
Wright can
this
start
game.
this game? You'd pick the Bills today.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know.
I've already paid my pick.
I know, and you took the Bills, and
All right.
and I will say this: if Josh Allen plays, absolutely.
Bills coach Sean McDermott will not reveal if Josh Allen will play or not.
He's screwing all the betters.
Terry, Ravens at Bengals. Ravens favored by 13 in Cincinnati today.
Ravens easy.
Are they going to cover 13?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Steelers at Brownies. Hunter. The Mason Rudolph versus Myles Garrett. Tom, I had Peyton came in the other day before our meeting and did the podcast with him, and we did an investigation, law and order style, of the Myles Garrett situation. Peyton had never seen it. He agrees that Mason Rudolph is the suspect and the criminal in the account of what happened.
Hmm.
So, with that said, Hunter.
That's on account you don't been in here one time.
Hey, Peyton don't know nothing about it. Hunter, Browns against no Big Ben. And who's not playing for the Browns today, Tom?
Denzel Ward.
I mean, tomorrow. Everybody.
Cornerback and somebody else.
P.J. Goodson's not playing. Harrison Bryant's not playing.
But the wide receivers are back.
Now,
Be
Tom,
careful.
I do got one question here for you, though. I know you got to do what the defense gives you. But if you don't have but one wide receiver, how can you justify calling 53 pass plays to about 18 running plays?
Because the argument was they're stacking the box, they're not going to let us run.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the old cliche is what? Run to set up the pass.
Mhm.
Well, in their case, they were passing to try to set up the run. It just didn't work. I mean, the tight ends didn't play well enough. I don't think they used Njoku enough because he's probably the most athletic of their tight ends. But they needed to use him more than what they've used.
I said that Monday or Wednesday, didn't I? About Joku.
Yeah.
They
About
don't use
what
the
I
Joku
thought they
enough.
should have done with him when you don't have a wide receiver, you got to get matchups.
He's probably athletic enough to play the slot.
He's
pretty easily.
He's so much bigger than whoever was going to guard him. I would have put him out at the wide, and anytime they went man on him, we're just going to throw the lob, and then y'all do that. Now, the week before, did you see him and Baker arguing about the touchdown pass that he threw to another guy? Joku fell down on the goal line, and Baker was about to throw it to him, pumped, and then went to another guy that was covered, but they got the touchdown. And Joku on the sideline said, I was open. And Baker said, you fell down. And he said, yeah, but I was still open. So Baker looked at the videotape with the coach. He said, let me see that. And he showed, he looked at it, he said, you fell down. He said, don't fall down. I'll throw it to you next time.
See, this is the kind of reporting we need. Cases this week include Alvin Kamara, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Keenan Allen, Devin White, and Shaq Barrett, both big linebackers down in Tampa Bay. Steve McClendon, Denzel Ward, Andrew Sendejo, and Harrison Bryant.
Yeah, Sendejo's another one.
Those are some of the players that are out. And see, that's what you want to know before you make picks.
They're going to be thin.
So who picking her?
Oh, for this game, I will take the Browns.
Bad pick.
Oh, God.
You are playing Pittsburgh. Cleveland can't beat Pittsburgh when they're healthy.
They beat them last year, Terry.
With Mason Rudolph.
Okay, Tom. You've beat them
what
once
did
in
you say?
forever.
Cleveland can't beat Pittsburgh. What did I say? They beat them last year.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, it's just like you said. They covered. No, they didn't. They beat them by 17. They covered.
No.
I mean, this guy has his own facts. He lives in his own
Okay, go
alternate
back.
reality.
Pittsburgh's probably won 24 of the last 26.
You said
or 27,
quote,
something like that.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland can't beat Pittsburgh.
Pick the
My
Browns.
response: they beat them last year. Your response? Okay. I mean, it's crazy.
No, it's not
you
crazy.
can't argue with people like that.
You cannot.
Thank you,
There's
Hunter.
no way.
Let's move on.
Whose turn is it?
It's my turn.
All right, Tom. Vikings at lines. Vikings favored by 6.5 in Detroit.
Detroit's
Terry,
in disarray. They're getting ready to fire the coach.
is this the last game of Cam Newton's NFL career at home hosting the Jets, favored by 3?
Yeah, New England wins.
So no more Cam?
No more Cam. He's done.
Is Stidham starting?
They hunting somebody already.
I don't know.
Hunter, Falcons at Buccaneers, 70 degrees in Tampa, a little rain, 6.5 for the Bucs.
I guess Tom's still playing today?
I do.
Or tomorrow?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. If circumstances changes and Tom doesn't play, I would probably take the Falcons because I don't know who. I don't even know who the backup is in Tampa. But I'm going to take Tampa Bay. But they are without Devin White and Shaq Barrett, and Shaq Barrett led the team last year in sacks. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm going to take Tampa.
All right, Tom. Cowboys and Giants. Cowboys favored by 3 in New York, trying to make the playoffs. They need a win and a Washington loss.
Man, the Giants have really struggled offensively, and I think it's still it's a Colt McCoy's not still playing, is he?
Danny Jones is back.
Jones is back.
Colt McCoy's gone.
No, he's not gone. He's still on the team, right?
No.
You tell me Colt McCoy's no longer a member of the Giants?
I know it's not. He's been gone.
No, he's not. He played a couple weeks ago against the Browns.
Oh, Lordy.
God almighty.
Pull that up for sure.
Yeah, pull it up because Terry doesn't know how to use a computer.
Colt McCoy,
I don't
New York
have one in
Giants.
front
Yeah,
of me,
Colt
Tom.
McCoy, New York Giants. You know what? Just because you've ticked me off, I'm going with the Giants at home to ruin the Cowboy season.
Giants at home.
Bad pick.
You love to see it.
Yeah, bad pick. All right, Terry. Packers at Bears.
Bears have to win.
Packers favored by 5.5. Bears need to win to get
Are
in.
the Packers playing Aaron Rodgers?
They do.
I don't know.
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
if they want the 1 seed, they better
I'm going Bears.
Bad pick.
I actually don't mind that pick.
Okay. Hunter, Raiders at Broncos. Raiders favored by 2.5 in Denver. This is has nothing to do with anything bowl today.
Give me Vegas. These guys are out there playing for a paycheck. Give me Vegas.
I would pick whatever Vegas would want. It's not as like the team, but is in the city. Tommy, here's a tough one for you. Jaguars, which have already clinched the 1 pick, so they can win in Indianapolis, Colts favored by 14, trying to get into the playoffs.
How often do you bookend the season with a team? The Colts open with the Jaguars. They finish with the Jaguars.
Washington open with the Eagles is ending with the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, they're booked. And you know, the only win that Jacksonville has this year is over the Indianapolis Colts. That being said, and I need the Jaguars to win this game. They won't. The Colts are
14 straight losses, right? Is that what
the Colts have to win this to get into playoffs. They're going to win.
Terry, Chargers at Chiefs. Chargers favored by 3.5.
Patrick Mahomes is sitting, right? Patrick Mahomes is sitting.
I don't care.
Chad Henne.
Chargers are favored by 3.5.
No, Chiefs.
All right, Hunter. Playoff implications: Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Cardinals favored by 3.
That's what I thought. Because I knew he went in to beat somebody a couple of weeks ago, and it was Seattle that he come in, and the Giants beat them. Colt McCoy is with the Giants.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Yeah, he's a backup.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones is playing.
We
He's
already
back.
said
That's what I was saying.
No, you
that
weren't.
is not what you were saying.
That's not what
you were
You were saying he was not.
You were saying
No,
he
I
was
saying
not
he
with
was
it.
with somebody because y'all was talking about he was with Washington or somebody.
No, that's
Oh,
not
we
what I
said he was
saying.
with the Giants.
Terry, I don't know what field you're in, but it's not the
Lord.
right one.
No,
It's
Terry.
not
What you
Central.
drinking
All
right
right,
there?
Hunter, Cardinals and Rams.
Cardinals. Golf is not playing.
Tommy, Seahawks at 49ers.
Give me the Seahawks.
Terry, Saints in Carolina. Saints favored by 6.5.
No
Saints.
Alvin Kamara.
Saints.
Hunter, Titans at Texans. Titans favored by 7.5 in Houston.
Titans still have to fend off technically Indianapolis, so give me the Titans.
All right. Are we even on picks? Has somebody not got one?
It's all even.
All right. Tom, Washington in Philadelphia.
Man.
NFC Championship on the line.
Yeah. There's no if and a
Does
buts
the
here.
Maryland football team led by Chad Henneke in Week 17 win in Philadelphia, 45 degrees in the rain, to win the NFC
Now,
East?
if Washington loses and Dallas loses, the Giants get in.
If Washington wins, they're in. If they lose, the winner of Cowboys-Giants is in.
Exactly.
I think they're going to make it simple, and the Chesapeake no-name football team is going to win this game.
Shoot, I hope you're right.
All right,
But-
JP, you ready in there? Are you ready?
You're on the road, Tom.
Are you ready for what's to come?
Bad pick.
Bad pick, huh? We'll see.
All right, back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
Unlock rebates of up to $1,700 with KitchenAid appliances from Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Or bring home innovation and receive up to $2,000 in rebates when you purchase select GE Profile appliance packages. Now, those are two great deals. Tired of shopping? Then relax with your new Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress set. Buy now and save up to $500. See Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Family owned and operated since 1977. Online at HendrickAppliance.com and see their page at WhatsAppShopper.com.
The Cherryville Country Club remains open for dinner on Friday nights and for Sunday lunch. Call your order in at 704-435-6597. Take it home and enjoy a great dinner or lunch. You can pick it up under the big black awning at the front. And it's time to get out and play golf, too. The weekly Captain's Choice Golf Tournament starts every Friday night at 5:30 p.m. Just call the Pro Shop to sign up at 704-435-6597. The Cherryville Country Club on the Roy Acre Road in Cherryville.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincolnton. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
Just in Time Plumbing is a leading residential and commercial service company operated in Cleveland and Gaston counties. Family owned and operated for 6 years, they can handle any job from bathtub and vanity installation, new home construction plumbing, and commercial sinks to Rinnai tankless water heaters, sinkhole and waterline repairs, gas piping, and more. And they offer financing on all projects. The licensed service professionals have extensive experience and take pride in providing first-class service on time, on budget, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call 704-600-8350 for your free estimate. Check out the website at justintimeplumbing.net. Just in Time Plumbing, every time. 107 South City Street, Kings Mountain.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
You Saturday Morning Sports Talk brought to you by Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City. Terry, what's that phone number?
704.
No, it's not.
It's 8. Tom, you're over here throwing stuff off on people. Don't do people like that, Tom. Anyway, the phone number is 828-919-3001.
Very good, Terry. Friendship Nissan at 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City. Terry, that phone number
is 828-245-1661.
Thank you, Friendship, for, despite the fact that Terry is on the show, you still sponsor us, so we appreciate that.
Tom, don't throw me off when you get ready to bum me.
It doesn't take much to throw you off, Terry. It's not very good.
God.
All right. Thank you, Friendship, and thank you, Mitchum's Kitchen.
Thank you for what y'all do.
Hey, Mitchum's Kitchen, thank you for actually letting Terry in your facility, because I know that
they make me go through the drive-through.
Yeah, they probably
super
do.
Spread or whatever of something, whatever it is.
704-276-1155.
He's got that one
Kitchen.
memorized. Now, one more time, the Dodge place in Forest City is 828-919-3001. The Nissan dealership is 828-245-1661. Thank you to our sponsors, Kevin.
All right, we talked a little bit about the Hornets earlier. Of course, we're a Hornets affiliate, folks. We're the only Hornets affiliate besides the main broadcast station. So the Hornets have one affiliate, and we're proud to be that.
And when we go to cover the games, they ask who we are.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. No. I will say this. I don't quite understand who I need to get in touch with down at Charlotte, but it would be really nice when they send out their tweets how you can watch and listen to the game if they included us.
So
that would be nice.
That'd be kind of nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. One thing, Charlotte doesn't have a. Maybe they'll let us stream their games, Hunter, because you can't find their games anywhere.
That's like what, Fox Sports South?
But
if you have
they've dropped a lot of their games.
Yeah.
I watch every one of
them. Well, again, you have to have the right station, and I would guess the sponsor.
Because I was just looking
at
it the other day, they were tweeting out. Of course, they were getting ready to play somebody, and they were like, "Catch our game on FS1 or whatever it was, or Fox Sports South," and then they said, "Or you can listen," and they tagged the fan,
right,
of course, where they listen. And I'm like, we're affiliates too. I wanted to reply to them and say,
the Tar Heels Jones Angel does put out a.
I was like, I wanted to tweet and just like comment at them and say, you can also listen at.
Yeah, Tar Heels Jones Angel tweets out a graphic with all the Tar Heels, and when I say Hornets, we're the one. Tar Heels, there's like 25 of them.
Yeah.
So like he's got a map of North Carolina with all the dots on it, and I did have to tweet at him to update our Cherryville location, and he did. Not that second or night, but it was the next game. It was updated. But anyway, real quick, I want to take a look at the NBA standings and stuff this week. What's going on?
What are we, 5 games
across
in now?
the way? We're
4.
5 games for the most part. Philadelphia, Indiana, the Magic, Hawks are all 4-1. Cavs 3-2. Nets, Celtics, and Bucks at 3-3. Hornets on the outside looking in with the Knicks, Heat, and Bulls at 2-3. Hunter, you Wizards got their first win last night.
There you go. 1-5.
And if you hold on one second,
Kevin Love played one whole game before he went on injured reserve for 3 more weeks.
There you go. That's what he does. Phoenix Suns.
He wants out so bad he can't stand it.
Phoenix
he's getting
Suns,
paid, that's all that
Hunter,
matters.
are 5-1, and I talked about this earlier. Is that you take a Chris Paul doesn't lose regular season games much at all, and put him with Devin Booker, one of the premier shooting guards in the league. They're going to give people trouble. They're 5-1 right
people
now.
said this could be DeAndre Ayton's breakout year.
Where's Chris Paul now?
Phoenix,
that's right.
with Devin Booker.
Yeah, and they're
last
5-1?
Last year he was the 5 seed with Shea Gilgeous. Now he's got Devin Booker. I expect him to be somewhere in the 5 seed range at least again. Now he's at the 1 seed right
and
now.
Phoenix went 8-0 in the bubble without him. So
Utah's 4, Pelicans 5, Sacramento 6, Portland 7. I think people need to watch out for them. San Antonio 8, Dallas on the outside, Memphis, Minnesota, Golden State, Houston, Oklahoma City, and the Denver Nuggets. You know, you keep not playing bowl ball, you're going to be last place in the Western Conference.
Have they won a game?
They're 1-4.
Okay.
Good job, Coach. You're awful. I'll say what I think about you on Monday. 1-4. There was a DNP last night from you know who. You're 1-4. Idiots. Just dummy. All right. So with that said, some stats in the league, across the league. James Harden's leading the league in scoring at 37.
yeah, he is at like 12 to 15 pounds overweight. Guy, he's a big boy right
Bradley
now.
Beal is second at 31. Trae Young averaging 30 a game. The 3 guys at 30. Durant is fourth at 28. We talked efficiency, guys. He's averaging 28 points on 18 shots a game. 9 of 18, 51%. McCollum fifth. Brown, Embiid, Curry,
How did
Kyrie.
the Hornets beat them?
And Colin
Just
sixth.
running, and then Steve Nash not knowing when to put people in the fourth.
That'll be
quarter.
the growing pain, I think, that
The
Brooklyn
coaching part.
experiences.
Tom, the Hornets beat the Mavs, the
Yeah.
Nets, and lost to the Thunder, Cavs, and Grizzlies.
I mean, he's got to learn how to coach.
Didn't
I mean,
the
it's the first time he's
Mavs
coached.
beat the Clippers by 50, then turned
then
around
lost
and got
to the
beat.
Hornets.
Yeah.
They beat the Clippers by 50.
With no limit.
Such a high.
And then
You had
lost.
to come back down to earth.
Then lost to the Hornets.
Because I watched that same Dallas Mavericks
can't-
team that beat the Clippers by 50 and lost the Hornets. The game before, they beat the Clippers that bad. They really didn't look that good against the Lakers.
Clippers had no.
You can't
Like,
take
no
anything
Kawhi.
in the NBA serious until the playoffs. I'm just. At
I'll
that
tell you what
point.
you can take
I'm just at that
serious.
point.
LaMelo Ball's averaging double-digit points.
Where we at? 10.
11.
What did he have last
11.4. He
He's
had
coming off the
15.
bench. He's not even starting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
How do you pick a guy 3 overall and don't start him?
Because you're the Charlotte Hornets.
Well, and I'll say this. He's doing 11 off the bench. Some people, that's good. That's usually a career guy for a role player. I could imagine him, if he started, at least averaging 15.
Before the season, his brother was averaging 10, 4, and 4. I said he's going to be exactly his brother. Right now, he's averaging 11, 4, and 4. Like, this isn't hard to see and look at.
And with
It's
the
just-
difference.
With the number 3 pick, we take a role player.
But
we did.
Listen,
That's crazy.
the difference.
That's crazy.
Lonzo's starting. LaMelo's doing this from the bench. I think. I'm not saying you start him now.
Have you
Maybe
watched
after 20
him shoot?
games.
Have you watched him
Terry,
shoot?
I've watched him shoot. The other night he went like 3 for 4 from the 3-point line.
Well, the Sunken shoots from his stomach.
Does it go in?
I mean, if you're playing defense, and
Sean
you're up
Marion
on
used
him,
to
no.
shoot the exact
If
same
you're
way, and it
playing
was wet.
defense on him, he's not even going to get a shot off. He shoots from his stomach.
He had 22 the other night, Terry. I'm just saying.
Terry's right. When people play tough defense, it's,
When you played against the Nets, all they want to do is run.
yeah,
They
they're
did-
just
they
trying to
wasn't nobody
some
playing
teams,
defense.
and especially in the regular season, Terry, everybody's trying to just outscore
Yeah.
everybody.
I say, Terry,
instead of playing
you
defense.
act like people really play defense in the NBA anymore.
Here's the All-Star scoring from last night from the Charlotte Hornets. They were led by Biyombo with 16. Gordon Hayward was 5 of 13 with 14 points. LaMelo was 6 of 14 with 15 points. So he got 1 point a shot, basically.
Yeah, he's shooting the ball every time he gets it.
One of the
Good job,
Martin
bud.
brothers had 14, the other had 4. So the Martins had 18 added together. PJ Washington was 3 of 6 for 10 points. And just, I don't know, there you go. Terry Rozier had a terrible night. Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham, here's what's bad for them, Terry.
Yeah, they hurt.
Is
Neither
that
one of them shot
is
good.
that with LaMelo on the bench, is that they're looking over their shoulders. And I feel so bad for Devontae Graham being put in this position. Last year he averaged 19-8. Averaged 19-8. And this year he's not doing nothing because he knows as soon as I miss a shot, and I've been in this position. I had a coach. I could run the offense perfect. assist. Everybody on the team could shoot. Even the bad guys shoot. He said, don't shoot this shot. If you shoot this shot, I'll take you out.
Yeah.
If you shot the shot, you're out. I'm like, I could play 48 minutes if I don't take a shot. But and then you're thinking about it, Coach. I mean, you sit there and wide open. I don't like the position they've put Graham in. I think they should trade him to do what's best for him, because obviously they throwing him. They thought they're going to trade Rozier or Graham one, and something needs to be done.
I think they can still get more for right now for Rozier.
You definitely can.
Devontae Graham.
But I think it's more fair to trade Graham and let him go play somewhere else if you're going to do him like this and have him looking over his shoulder, because he's not built for that. Terry's got his money. He's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Graham don't. He's a second-round pick playing for his life. I think it's bad what he did for him last year, what they did. Any other NBA comment and stuff, guys, into the show here?
I think the only thing I'm going to say, obviously they've only played one game together. I think Houston, if James Harden stays, is going to be very scary, because DeMarcus Cousins looked dang good, probably the best he's looked in 4 years the other night, but now that he's actually healthy.
Boogie.
And John Wall played excellent in his first game, really, in a true, not like a preseason game, in a true regular season game. Also came out and said, I didn't know this at all, because he must have kept it hush-hush. He was getting all sorts of infections and stuff when he was fighting his Achilles. He was basically, when he came out and was talking about it, he said, either I lose my foot or I try and fight this with all the extra surgery. So maybe that was one of the reasons why his rehab took the 2 years that it did on his Achilles injury. But I think, obviously, the West is still going to be the two LA teams. I think if Houston can convince Harden, maybe get in a little bit better shape and stay, I think they can actually be making a little bit of noise. They'll be dangerous.
Your Wizards, the problem with them that I've seen from watching them, Westbrook's going to be your triple-double. He's going to try to do that every night. And
Doesn't
I don't
always
think
convert to
Bill,
wins.
Yeah, I don't think Bill can fit in with that program.
That's the problem I had with it.
Yeah.
Bill is second league in the scoring. I think he's okay.
Well, he still is going to have a hard time fitting in with that, because, I mean, even though you're saying he's second in the league, they're 1 win and 5 losses.
Now that's the problem. They can't guard. They're not guarding anybody.
Rui's back now off of injury.
They've got to find somebody that can guard somebody. I don't think Bill ain't guarding anybody. That's a big problem. Now,
I think the problem is Bill, once he does touch the ball, he's not giving it up.
Here's Westbrook's numbers real quick.
Same thing with Russell Westbrook.
19.8 points a game, 12.8 rebounds a game, 12.3 assists a game.
Yeah, and you can't take that away. That's him. That's what I'm saying. That's him.
I get that. I understand it. I said the same thing, though, when he came in, Kevin. I said, our roster as a whole doesn't. I told he was like, you can fight for the AC. I said, there's no way. Not with this roster.
You have a
There's
chance
no
to
way.
make AC.
No.
All right. Belichick, real quick, has a losing record overall without Tom Brady. With Tom Brady's 136 and 39. Almost 100 more wins. Without him, 51-65. 51.
Got to get the quarterback right.
Without Tom Brady is Bill Belichick. All right, JP, let's take it away, buddy. You got us ready? You want to play?
Wouldn't it be nice if you could go look at a new car or truck and you
go ahead and play it? Bye bye. 39. Almost 100 more wins without him. 51.
Get the quarterback right.
Without Tom Brady. All right, JP, let's take it away, buddy. You got us ready?
I am the incredible man. I only do things incredible can. 'Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see